Hello, welcome to the first CCU podcast. We're going to be covering Mission Impossible 1 to 6, 1 to 5 briefly, and talk about which we like the most, and then 6 in more detail. This is Seamus.
Hello.
And we watched the film together last week.
Last week on Friday.
Weekend.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know what time it is now because you're just a camera.
So. Yeah, I could post this whenever I want.
Yeah. So that's fine.
Nobody even knows.
But we mostly remember what happened.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it in relation to all the other Mission Impossible.
The 5 films, which I've recently binged. Like Seamus watched them. I don't know how long ago. I guess it's when they came out.
Throughout my life.
Yeah, throughout his life. And I'd never seen a single film until 2 weeks ago. And I watched all 5 of the first films and the 6th film.
Very quickly. How long did it take you to watch all of them?
Well, I watched 1 first, and then the next day I watched 2, intending to watch like 1 a day at least that week. Mm-hmm. And then 2 was so bad that I stopped halfway through. Came back to the second half of 2 a week later, and then binged the last 3 before the film.
Okay. Do you want to? So I will vaguely remember most of those movies, and you're gonna remind me all the stuff that I missed, which is gonna be a lot of stuff because I watched a lot of these.
I've already forgotten a lot after a week, to be honest.
It's mostly just about masks and Tom Cruise running.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Which one's your favourite? Oh, the ones that you watched.
Well, I'd say 1.
1.
1's probably my favourite, but then. If we're leaving 6 out, 1's my favourite. We'll talk about 6 in a minute, but of the first 5, 1's the best, I think.
Yeah. When did Tom Cruise 1 come out? When did Mission Impossible?
Tom Cruise 1 come out? I don't know. It's like his only legacy. Tom Cruise 1, Tom Cruise 2.
It should be called that at this point.
Yeah, it should be,
They're mostly just biopics about Tom Cruise. Weird shit with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And the weirder he's got in real life, the weirder he gets in the films as well.
That's true, yeah. And he's very weird. So this next one's really takes the mick.
Exactly, yeah.
When did the first one come out?
I can't remember if it was 94 or 96 now. I think it was 96 because it's 4 years before the second, which is 2000. Yeah. So I think the first is 96.
Which is, so I think you watching back and knowing that you know he's going to go rogue eventually and that certain things are going to happen. I guess as a 1996 audience, they probably were surprised.
Yeah.
That John Voight was evil.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah.
I thought John Voight was evil in every movie.
Yeah. But the reason I thought it was clever is because it gives you really, really small hints, and if you're willing to if you're willing to keep your mind on the fact that John Voight might be the bad guy, when it actually reveals that he is, you get this moment of just fuck it, I knew it. You know, that dopamine release in the brain where it's I had it right the whole time. And I feel like that's on purpose, and they try and reward audiences who pay attention. Right. Which I quite liked in that film.
Yeah.
And the whole thing, the whole story kind of just fits quite nicely around it. You know.
And from my point of view, Mission Impossible 1 is, I remember as the one where the guy gets squished by the elevator.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
That's all I remember. I know everyone turns on everyone. There's a guy that gets squished by the elevator, and there's a woman who's called Max. I think that's the first one.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
And it's we have to find Max, and then it's and Tom Cruise is what, a woman? That's mad. Women can't do things.
The other ones were just trying to copy the first one every time, so, because it was Mission Impossible, I don't know how the TV series went, it's probably the same, but the impossible mission is when he's trying to break into the vault where you can't make a sound, you can't touch the floor, there's pressure pads. If you drip any sweat on it or anything, it's over. And he's going down he has to rappel down that rope.
That's the really famous bit, isn't it? Where he's hanging.
Yeah, and you get the guy up at the top who John Reno plays. He's holding him by a rope, and there's a rat going near his face. So for ages, at some point he's going to drop that rope, and he's sweating. But it goes on for quite a while, and the suspense really builds. You know they're going to drop him at some point. And then he drops him and catches him just before he hits the floor. Yeah. And he's like that. And then they kind of try and do that in every single film. So I think the second one, they drop him through a skyline of a building. Right. And then the flaps for the skyline are going to close, and he gets through at the last second, and they try and then he's hanging down by a wire again. Yeah. Pretty much the same as in the first film. And every film has one of those little rundowns where it's the room's pressure sensitive, it's got heat sensitivity, so you can't make a sound and all this stuff. But none of them quite match up to the first one. I thought the first one was better than the other ones.
The first one is. I think we both agreed that the first one is the best.
Right, cool.
So 1, I've got them down as 1, 3, which is the one where it gets good again, which is something about a rabbit's foot. That's what it's called, isn't it? And it's
Philip Seymour Hoffman wants a rabbit's foot.
It's a classic action thing. It's the thing that will help you set off all the nukes in the world.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
And if he has to get it before everyone else gets it, but also that's the one where his wife's in danger as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the wife element's really good because the film it has more setup than the other films. I feel like the second film, he basically, well, I don't want to talk about the second film actually yet, really. Do you want to talk about the second
We
film?
can jump in on
Yeah,
that.
at the start of it, he's just like climbing a rock face and trying to be cool. And that's basically the setup. It's just that Tom Cruise is cool, and now he's got another mission.
Yeah.
Gets into a pair of sunglasses, throws them, they explode. The film starts.
Yeah.
Third film, you see a call forward scene where Philip Seymour Hoffman is got his wife at gunpoint and is counting to 10, and Tom Cruise is like crying and sweating and really like he's trying to bargain with him the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he's saying he doesn't know where the rabbit's foot is. We don't know whether he does or not, but he's trying to bargain. He looks so worried. You imagine all the scenes that preceded it made Tom Cruise scared of this guy.
Yeah, but that happens before we even meet him.
Yeah, but then that scene's actually really good at the start because you know like from Tom Cruise's face you can tell that Hoffman's serious and he will shoot his wife. And then like it ends on a gunshot, but the classic gunshot, and then everything goes black and you don't know who shot the gun. So it could have been that Tom Cruise wrestled a gun and shot him. You know what I mean? It doesn't show whose gun was shot.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it's like the whole like Tom Cruise has a wife and it's like a big dinner party and he's like with his wife and he like tells her he works in like plumbing or something like that. You know, everyone's like it's like whatever. And the whole building, the whole CIA building is like under a fake name of like a company name, and he pretends he works for that company. To get away with the CIA stuff.
Yeah. And she doesn't know that he's a secret agent.
No.
3 has to bring it back because 2 is terrible. 2 is like it's a Matrix spin-off basically.
Yeah.
It's like John Woo just making things go in slow motion and pulling off masks.
Yeah. So 2 is the worst we think, isn't it?
2 is the worst. I think we can all. I think at the moment 1 is the best. Then it's 3. Then some 4 order of 4 and 5.
They're basically the same film.
Basically the same film. And then 2 is by far the worst. 2 they're lucky that this is still going, considering how bad 2 is.
I know.
Look at Jeremy Renner.
I still think 2 was like a ploy. They were like, gosh, we're not building.
Look at him running down stuff.
Get mad. I think like 2 was like a ploy. They made it so bad that 3 had to be good in comparison. Because I still can't in my mind figure out whether 3 is actually really good or not. Like I like the bad guy in it more than like everything. It did everything better than the second film did, and that's all I was looking for. Because the second film was so bad, I wanted anything better. And then I thought the third film was great because of it. And at one point, I even thought maybe it's better than the first. But now it's just like, nah, it's just because you really from that awful second film.
Look, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is great as well. Like he's without a doubt the best part of that movie.
Yeah, they actually cast a good bad guy for once.
What's the big stunt in that one? Because the big stunt in that one.
In the second one. Oh, and the third one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his big stunt is in the third one.
There's the bit at the start where the woman blows up and they're on a helicopter or whatever and they escape from like a...
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think there's a big...
No, he just sneaks into a facility in that one, and then most of it is some guy flying the plane. It's just someone famous. Oh, it's Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, you know, who's in like the Tudors and all those kind of stuff. Yeah, he's like the helicopter pilot in that. Yeah. And he's like niftily going through these like wind turbines, these big white wind turbines. And he manages to duck just under one, and then the next helicopter, the attack helicopter form, gets hit by the blade. Yeah,
because they don't have guns or something, and the other helicopters do or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then but there's not. I don't know what the big stunt that Tom Cruise does in that film.
Maybe it was coming back and trying to having another go at Mission Impossible was the big stunt.
Yeah.
And then I think 4 is better than 5 because 4 is the part where he is outside on like the real life tallest building in the world or whatever, and he's just like stuck to the side of it and he doesn't know what to do. Because he did that in real life. Obviously he had all kinds of safety stuff, but he went out and hung on the side of this massive building in real life. I think 4 is the point in Tom Cruise's career where he full on went mad. Yeah, just started doing silly stuff. Yeah. But it's good. It's really
good. Yeah, because he's trying to go through that window and like he can't reach it with the rope gun alongside the window that got open. And he has to run back the other way, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Then I think he runs all the way, lets go of the rope.
Yeah.
So he's flying, and then he bangs his head on like the bit of the window, the window frame at the top as he falls in, and then he's falling out. I can't remember who the 2 other people in the room are. I think it's the woman, and then I think another guy, but I think it might be Jeremy Renner. We'll say it's Jeremy Renner. Jeremy Renner like grabs hold of his ankle, but then Jeremy Renner also flies out the window, and she gets hold of his ankle. And then there's like they've got that 3-way, 2 of us are falling kind of thing, and then somehow she manages to pull him up.
It's good, and Jeremy Renner's there. Look at him. This is 5.
This is 5.
Because this is the big stunt from 5, which is where he's outside of a plane, but he's hanging onto the plane, and it's still moving. He doesn't get enough credit for those movies. No. You can't get tickets for Mission Impossible Rogue Nation anymore, by the way.
Click there.
The best people in those movies are whoever's doing the photography work and finding a way to film Tom Cruise on the side of a plane without anyone having to sit out there and do it. Those guys are great. It's good work. He's just mad, isn't he? He gets more mad as the movies go.
Well, that's what Keanu Reeves is supposed to be. Like, people keep saying Keanu Reeves is like Tom Cruise, like because of the John Wick films and what he goes through.
Yeah.
I seen a picture of John Wick on a horse. Have you seen that before? It's like
Yeah,
an image
yeah,
of him for the
the
third
third
film.
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he's gonna be riding around on a horse. So now Keanu Reeves has decided he's gonna take up horse riding as well as like all those. There's like videos of him training for John Wick 2, and where he's just like shooting all these different targets and stuff, and the guy's putting him through his paces.
Yeah.
That's a different film, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's similar to him.
So I've got them in order from worst to best as 2,
The worst, yeah.
and I'm gonna stop using 4 and 5 because they've got real names.
Yeah.
So 2, Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol, which are such generic names.
It's Ghost Protocol the fourth then.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one with the building stunt.
Yeah. And then 3 and then 1.
And 3 and then 1.
But you think, and I probably agree with you, that 6 is right up there.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's 1 or 2. I feel like it knocks 3 out of its slot because like I say, I feel like 3 I liked it because the second was so bad.
Yeah.
And
because you watched them in order.
I know it's an oddie, and 3 like it's just like a good, like not even a good, but like an alright action film with a good bad guy, and like Lawrence Fishburne plays a really good CIA director part in it. They cast it really well.
Yeah.
But the 6th one made me laugh loads.
That's
and
true.
none of the other 2 made me laugh.
The 6th one is the most fun.
Yeah.
Like
definitely
4 and 5 are fun as well. Rogue Nation and the other one are fun. But the 6th one is actually like great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're obviously someone's trying to blow up the world or whatever, like they are in all of them.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. It's having a good
It's
time.
always fun as well, isn't it? 5, I think 5 kicks off quite good though. 'Cause 5 like. Sorry, no. Is it 5's not Ghost Protocol, is it? It's
5 is Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation. Yeah, that's the one where it kicks off with the Kremlin gets blown up almost instantly, which is something actually physically happening because it's always like the threat of nuclear war, the threat of this, threat of that, and then they have to blow up the Kremlin.
Yeah.
And they have to keep that going. So in the 6th film, they mention the blown up Kremlin because it's like for consistency, the Kremlin just now has to be destroyed.
Yeah.
In every film, so they're going to use the Kremlin as an actual body of government again.
So this brings us nicely on to the start of the 6th one. The story of this movie, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Tom Cruise is trying to stop. Oh, it's very complicated.
Yeah.
For a movie that should be very simple.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is trying to stop a group of terrorists, but they're not terrorists, they're like anarchists.
Yeah, because they continue from the 5th film.
Right.
So they mentioned at the start, the bad guy in it, I can't remember his name, but he's the same, you know, the guy with the beard who they're all after and they're trying to get hold of him. He's the bad guy of the 5th film.
Yeah.
Of Rogue Nation.
Yeah.
And he made his own group of people, like ex-CIA agents or
like
disavowed agents and stuff. Yeah, it's like I forgot the name of the actual group now. But then they change in this new, like basically he gets taken down in the 5th one, and in the 6th one,
the Syndicate.
The Syndicate, it rises up with a new name. In the 6th one, and then it's them they're trying to take out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, while he's doing this, he also has to deal with the CIA because Tom Cruise, as we all know, is in the IMF.
Yeah, Impossible
Mission Force.
Yeah.
Which is a great name, which I'm sure he wishes he could change now, but he can't.
No.
So they're always worried what the IMF are doing because Tom Cruise is always going rogue, and in real life would probably have been asked to stop a long time ago.
Stop going rogue.
Because he goes rogue in all of these movies.
Even in Rogue Nation.
Especially in Rogue Nation. He goes rogue multiple times in number 6.
Yeah.
But they are worried that he's going to go rogue again, so they get the only man who can stop Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, with a nice, lovely moustache.
Yeah, and they pretend he's on the same side as. So the Alec Baldwin is like the IMF director now, isn't he? In the 5th film, he's a CIA director, but he drops down to like IMF director.
Yeah, he's like,
need a new one.
He says it in this one. He's like, that was a demotion for me, and I was like, I only took this job because I love you, Tom Cruise, and I think you're a great actor or something like that.
I believe in Scientology now, so
the
IMF route. So she's the CIA director, the woman in it, I don't know what her name is. She's like the director in it, of the CIA, and Alec Baldwin's the director of the IMF, and her man is Henry Cavill and his man is Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And she said you can only send Tom Cruise on this mission if my Henry Cavill man can come with him.
Yeah. if Henry Cavill, popular actor Henry Cavill can come, and then there's a scene
And
where
he can wear a mustache.
and he's got a mustache, and the two of them stand next to each other, which makes Henry Cavill look even more massive because Tom Cruise is a little tiny.
That's ridiculous. Like, you just feel like if they're going to get into, because you were saying early on you figured out like Cavill was going to be.
Well, I knew Henry Cavill was a bad guy.
Yeah.
When did you figure out that Henry Cavill was a bad guy?
I kind of assumed just based on the fact that you can't have two Tom Cruises in the film, and he was basically just like piggybacking on that.
Yeah.
I knew they'd have some sort of rivalry. I wasn't sure if he'd be like full on bad guy or he'd just be like working for the CIA trying to get him disavowed. Because there's always like a semi bad guy who's not. Yeah.
They're just trying to trick Tom Cruise into not going rogue again.
Yeah. But it turns out he's quite high up in the.
Yeah, he is. He's the bad guy.
Is he the main guy of this new syndicate then?
Yeah, he's taken on from this other guy who's in 5, who's got the big beard and stuff.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill is like his disciple, and he's organised his own group of anarchists, and he wants to destroy the world in order to break down all the governments or something.
Yeah.
And then start again, because then obviously things will be better when everyone's dead.
Yeah.
For some reason. And they've got like a manifesto that he keeps trying to get people to read out. And stuff like that.
The manifesto. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So anyway, he's the bad guy. I knew he was the bad guy because it's basically in the trailer, not this trailer.
Oh.
That he's like, I think there's a fight between them in the trailer or something. There's a fight in the bathroom.
That was like the first time I guess where we thought it was a bit different because it was going a bit more on the nose with the humour.
Yeah. Because
it was a funny fight scene. It wasn't meant to be a serious fight scene.
No. Well, so let's start from the beginning then.
Right, well.
There's this evil group. They've stolen, or they're trying to get their hands on 3 nuclear warheads or something.
Yeah.
But the nuclear warheads are just big circles.
I think that's the plutonium or something, isn't it? Inside his big spheres.
And some other group has got that, and Tom Cruise wants to stop them getting sold to. So he poses as a terrorist to buy it.
Yeah.
And during the deal, they get attacked by this syndicate.
And Bing Rames gets held hostage by him, isn't it?
And he's like, and this is where it all goes wrong because Tom Cruise has got the nuclear stuff, and he's going to escape, but Ving Rhames has been captured by the bad guys, and he can't bring himself to leave him behind. Ving Rhames, who's great, but slightly overweight in this movie.
But they never explain, and that scene, that's probably one of the worst parts of the film, actually, thinking about it. Like, when, not worst parts of the film, but like the one that doesn't make any sense. When Ving Rhames gets taken, Tom Cruise, he's like, leave me alone. He's like, Tom, just take the stuff and go, I'll die anyway. But then they decide to fight. They save Ving Rhames, they kill the guys.
And
then in the middle of the gunfight, they turn around and the plutonium that was behind them in the suitcase is gone. Which means that someone must have come up behind them, grabbed the suitcase and ran away all sneaky. And I don't know when that would have happened in that gunfight.
Ving Rhames is like, have you got the plutonium? And he's like, yeah, it's just, oh no. And then they run around and it's gone.
Yeah, it's just a blank space.
And then that makes Tom Cruise, in other people's eyes, the bad guy of the movie, because they're like, oh, he let the plutonium get away or whatever.
Yeah.
So they capture one of the scientists who they think is going to help these bad guys make a bomb, and they put him in a room and they pretend that he's been captured for months and months and months.
Yeah.
And they show him footage of the like CNN report or something that suggests that 3 places have been destroyed. I don't know what they are. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like oh no, it's 3 religious sites. It's like the Vatican, somewhere in Israel. And then Mecca, I think.
Yeah.
And the guy's like really excited about it, and they convince him. They ask him to help them or whatever, because they need him to unlock a phone so they can find out where everybody is.
Yeah.
And he won't do it unless they read out his manifesto live on the air. And then Tom Cruise, who for some reason has an unbelievable amount of power at this point, is like, I can do that. I'll just ring him and tell him to read it out.
Yeah.
And the guy. He's like, no. Oh, Ving Rhames says that they can do it. And then Tom Cruise is like, no, we'll never do that. You're evil. And then in the end, they have to do it. So the newsreader reads out these evil people's manifesto.
Was the guy the guy who's really convinced it's going to change the world and everyone's going to like that? I was saying to you, like, I don't think I've ever written anything where I'm so confident that as soon as somebody on the news reads it out, everyone in the world's suddenly going to like rise up and overthrow all their governments.
He's certain that all these people who've just seen like millions of people die in this tragedy are going to go, actually, yeah, this is really good.
This is what we want. Yeah,
I'm glad these people were murdered.
And what they read out as well in the manifesto didn't convince me. Like, I didn't think it was convincing at all. It was just like generic, just like the world needs to end so we can repopulate or something stupid like that.
Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, we never got past like a couple of lines.
No.
But as a writer, I don't like it. But so they get him to read it out live on air. You didn't know this was a trick, but I figured out it was a trick.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've watched many action movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I reckon as soon as Tom Cruise agreed to do it, I knew it was a trick. Because I was like, he wouldn't. Ethan Hunt wouldn't.
No.
Give up on his morals so quickly.
No, he definitely doesn't. Yeah.
Especially now he's completely controlled by Tom Cruise and he can have him do whatever he wants. So they get him to read it out on the news, and then the newsreader comes into the hospital bed, the room. He doesn't get into the bed.
Just gets in the bed with them and is like, she's like, wait, Reggie
Manifesto, I really like it. And he's like, hey, how you doing? And the guy's really confused because he's already helped Tom Cruise open his phone. And then the newsreader pulls his mask off, and it was Simon Pegg the whole time. Simon Pegg, who for the last 2 films, he came in Mission Impossible 3 as just like an analyst inside the CIA, doesn't actually go out on any missions. Film before that, he wanted to wear one of the masks, but the machine broke down. Yeah. The film after, or is it the film before where they've only got a limited amount of resources? That's it. They've got a limited amount of resources because they've gone rogue again. And they've only got one mask making machine and it breaks down, so he doesn't get to wear the mask. Yeah. Then the 4th film, he makes reference the 5th film, he makes reference at least 3 times to how he wants to wear the mask, and then it always goes awry and he never gets to wear the mask. 6th film, he wears it. This is the first time you see him pull it off. When he pulled it off, I was like, finally, Simon Pegg gets to wear the mask. And he looks really proud.
Yeah, there's a big grin on his face.
And they've got him. They got the bad guy. They've tricked him, and then I think they play the Mission Impossible little intro thing, where it's got like little clips of old movies and new movies. Oh, that was the bit where the guy gets hit by the elevator.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
The old movies and new movies and stuff. Probably a lot of stuff up here.
Yeah.
And they play the Mission Impossible music, and it gets you hyped for the movie. It's great.
Yeah.
And then everything gets really silly.
That bit was quite serious, and we thought, here we go, another Mission Impossible. I was expecting 4 and 5 again, but just with the new title.
It tries to convince you that all these places have actually been blown up in the movie, but it's obviously revealed that was a trick, and that Tom Cruise just pretended they'd been blown up. But he tries to convince you it's very serious.
Yeah, we thought at the very. I know you figured it out once.
But at the start, I was like, oh shit, that's
stuff actually kicked off. Yeah. But I believed it happened because the film before they blew up the Kremlin. So I'm like, they're not willing to. No, so they're actually willing to pretend that real places have been blown up.
Yeah, they played on your expectation.
Yeah.
Our expectation.
Which is good.
Yeah.
But then. And then it comes in that he has to go on a mission. What's he going on a mission to do? To get the plutonium or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
I know he has to meet the buyer or something, or the seller of the plutonium.
I don't know. For some reason, and this is one of the big stunts in this movie, which has many big stunts. He has to do a halo jump, which we now know stands for high altitude, low
something.
Whatever the word is, which means that you use your parachute.
Right at the last second. No.
Yeah. So he opens his. So him and this is when the CIA say that your man has to follow. I can't remember what I'm talking about. But they're jumping out of the airplane and he has the big stunt. Yeah.
So does Henry Cavill go up to him and like pull his oxygen out or something? Because Tom Cruise is being really cocky. Yeah. And he's just being like, do you even know what you're doing? Have you ever been on a mission? And he's just being a genuine arsehole to Superman.
Yeah.
And then
to Superman.
Yeah. And Superman's just like, well, I'm going to pull your hair out and I'm going to jump out there plane first.
Because he thinks he can fly.
He comes out of the plane. Gets struck by lightning when he's out of the plane.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise is like scrambling to get his oxygen back and gets it in, jumps out after him, catches up to him.
Yeah.
And then gives him his oxygen or something like that. And then when Cavill gets struck by lightning, he's completely unconscious. And when Cruise struggles with their parachute, finally lands on the roof, and then Cavill just lands next to him all nonchalantly. And it's just like
he was fine.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's like, why didn't you pull your parachute earlier? Or he says something like, oh, what? He's like, why's your oxygen not on? Or something weird like that. Like he doesn't remember waking up in midair.
Yeah. At any point. It's not clear whether he is making a joke or whether he genuinely doesn't remember.
No, because
that
it's
he
struck by
was
lightning.
struck by lightning.
Yeah, he just wakes up. He's like, "Oh, I've been awake this whole time." And it just lands perfectly, and he's like, "I've never even seen lightning." He just gets
But
away with it.
that whole segment was real, and they filmed it like Tom Cruise really. He apparently trained for a year to get into shape to do that, to jump, and it's not very long.
No.
To jump out of the thing and land and stuff.
I appreciate it though, because there are situations where you could just use CGI and make it look worse, but he's gone to the effort to make sure that it actually looks decent. Or he could use a stuntman who's already been doing those jumps for years.
Yeah.
And how easy is it to just like pay for somebody who already does it to just do it for you and wear a Tom Cruise wig?
Yeah.
It's not hard, but he obviously likes to.
Do you think that, because you can't see his face or anything, because he's in a suit, would it have mattered if he'd just paid somebody else who looked like him to do it, and he hadn't? Then the movie came out a year earlier because it hadn't taken him so long to train to do
Maybe that
this
would have
job.
been alright, yeah.
Would that not have been better? I think.
It could have been better, yeah, but people like the whole Tom Cruise did it himself. People keep going on about how John Wick.
Oh yeah, no, I love all the
himself,
stuff all this running Tom Cruise does in this movie.
Yeah.
There's loads of other stuff that happens. He keeps going rogue because he's not sure whether the CIA are going to turn on him or not. He meets the people who are selling the plutonium, and they want him to rescue the guy out of number 5.
Yeah, the guy with the bad guy from number 5 who Tom Cruise takes down.
Yeah.
The guy who started the syndicate or whatever.
The big anarchist.
They want him to work with them, I guess. And Cavill's trying to like use him, isn't he? Get in contact with him by staying with the IMF team.
Yeah. They take Henry Cavill's attention away. So like Tom Cruise is talking about something in another room, and like he's watching him on the CCTV, and you're like, oh, he's evil because he's watching Tom Cruise on the CCTV or whatever.
Yeah.
But while all that's happening, Simon Pegg's switching masks with, I think this is what happens, with the bad guy.
The bad guy, yeah.
And so Henry Cavill comes up and he reveals all of his evil plans, because he's not just in the CIA, he's also the ultimate bad guy in the movie.
Yeah.
And he finishes talking, and then you can see it dawn on him that it wasn't the person
he spills his guts to the guy, to the who he thinks is the bad guy in the chair when they've all left, and then it's just Simon Pegg.
And then Simon Pegg's like, ha!
I wore a mask again.
I got you.
That was good though, I like that when he did that.
And then there's a big chase scene, and Tom Cruise runs across.
Yeah, because there's a big fight, because that woman's in it, isn't she? From the 5th film, there's a woman. I don't know if you remember from the 5th film. I don't think you remember exactly who she was.
Yeah, the English woman.
Yeah, she's an English woman. She's like in the 5th film, she's working for the British intelligence.
She's like
MI5.
She's got a really terrible English accent. She's probably English, but she has a terrible English.
She's putting on another English accent. Maybe she's from like Manchester or Rochdale. She's pretended she's from London, and that's what it is. But she's in that 5th film, and she just keeps showing up to help Tom Cruise out. She's like working for the syndicate, but because the British government have told her to, and she wants to get out of it. Like she's been working with them for a year or 2 years or something like that, and she wants to get out of it. But like the British intelligence director won't let her pull out. And you find out that he's the one who decided to start the syndicate against the wishes of the British Prime Minister for some reason.
Yeah.
And then she gets to be set free at the end of that film, but then obviously they wanted her back for number 6, so she's come back in. I don't know who she's working for in the 6th one.
She's still working for the British government.
But they like got something over her and they're making her work for longer than she has to.
They are going to make her like a fugitive unless she kills the anarchist guy. Because he knows loads of stuff. Because the gimmick is the Americans captured him, and then they've been sending him around different countries because he attacked so many countries. And all these, like they're in France, for example, and the French government want to interrogate him. But the Brits are really worried that people will find out their secrets because this guy used to be a British agent or whatever. So they want him killed before
he says anything.
But Tom Cruise doesn't want him killed because he wants to know the plan. So he tries to keep him alive. I think that's everything. And then eventually Tom Cruise rescues him so that he can interrogate him or whatever. But they're not expecting somebody else. Oh, the CIA send a team because the CIA can't figure out what's going on because I guess Henry Cavill stopped talking to them. So they send a team to try and find out what's happening, and that team stops, like basically causes confusion. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise kills a number of CIA operatives.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah,
he must do.
I think he must do.
Yeah,
and then Henry Cavill escapes with all the bad guys.
But he's running. The whole basement scene happens. They're in this weird little underground basement bit, and the woman who's been like following Tom Cruise around the entire film is there, and she's like for some
She
reason.
comes from nowhere.
She just appears out of nowhere. She's just in the shadows.
Everybody knows where Tom Cruise's secret base is.
Yeah, he's not very good at his job. He's
No.
just following him everywhere.
And then that starts one of the best parts of the movie.
Yeah, so they have a big fight in the basement,
Yeah.
and Rick Cavill somehow escapes.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin, who's been the director in both films, gets shot, doesn't he? And,
Yeah.
and then like he's like, go chase after Henry Cavill or
Yeah.
whatever the guys were.
They're in London now, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
so he chases him.
yeah, it's like,
forever.
he's like, go chase Henry Cavill. But there's that bit where Alec Baldwin's like, go chase him. And he's like, I want to be with you. You're dying. He's like, go get him. And he's like, okay, I'll go get him. But let's have a bit more of a chat first.
Yeah.
He's ran off about an hour ago. But Tom Cruise is still chatting to him.
Having killed him.
Yeah.
He's called Agent Walker. That's what he's called.
Walker, yeah.
So Walker, who is Henry Cavill,
Yeah.
kills, stabs Alec Baldwin.
Mm.
There's a little fight scene where Alec Baldwin gets a hit in on him,
Yeah.
and I turned to you in the cinema. I don't know if you remember, but I was like, this. It was nice to have Alec Baldwin in this franchise for a bit,
Yeah.
and then he gets killed because it's
Right,
so
yeah.
obvious. You
Yeah.
know he's gonna die.
Because he's the only director, or the only
Yeah.
CIA / IMF director that's carried over more than one film.
Uh-huh.
So it's quite nice to have him.
He gets Henry Cavill looks like he's gonna beat him up, and then he gets a lucky hit in on him or whatever, and then Henry Cavill in his anger stabs him in the chest.
Yeah, it's
Just
like
leaves
twice
him
your
to
size
that.
and half your age, and we're just going to stab you one.
Yeah.
But the fact that I think I said this to you on the cinema, who's his name's Walker, and he spends because he got so far away while Tom Cruise is pissing about, he's just walking all the way to the place where he's going to extract in the helicopter, and then it's just scenes of Walker walking nice and slow, casual, just looking at the birds, and then a scene of Tom Cruise sprinting down the street trying to catch up to him.
And there's some of the best part. There's some of the best bits of the movie because he does so much silly stuff in this.
Mm-hmm.
He goes up an office building, and he's being tracked by Simon Pegg, but Simon Pegg can't figure out what's going on because Tom Cruise is he's turn right, and Tom Cruise is I can't. So he ends up at the top of this office building, and he's turn left, and Tom Cruise is I'm 6 stories up, and then Simon Pegg moves the little map he's got, and he realises that he's had it in 2D the whole time, and that actually he's really far off the surface. And then there's the bit where he smashes the window, and he's looking out, but the office is full of people, and all the people are looking at him to see what he's going to do next. And he's looking around, and he's shouting at Simon Pegg down the microphone. And then he runs and jumps out the window and rolls, and everyone runs over to the window to see if he's made it.
How did you make it? And obviously he did.
And then that's the same scene where he accidentally goes into the funeral.
Oh yeah, I forgot the funeral. Is there a bit? Is it before that a bit where he's? Or maybe that's after the funeral, where he's running around a spiral ramp or something like that. Yeah. And Simon Pegg's, that's when Simon Pegg's still got it in 2D mode. And he's like, why is he running around in circles? He's just going around this
he's trying to go up.
He's going higher and higher up.
All that happens after the funeral bit. So he's being chased by bad guys, and they chase him into this big building, and everyone's sat around. And so I was saying this to you after the movie. So we kind of know it's a funeral because you can see how people are dressed and where they're sitting.
Yeah.
But it's kind of implied that Tom Cruise is not sure what he's walked into.
Yeah.
But the camera is looking into Tom Cruise's face the whole time.
So you can't really see how big the funeral is. Or...
So we can see behind him, and we can see people sat down and stuff. But this is a massive room. Tom Cruise is looking at the middle of the room where the coffin is and the priest is.
He knows he's in a funeral.
It looks like he doesn't know he's in a funeral, but he definitely does. And he's funneled towards the middle where the coffin is.
Yeah.
And then he kind of wakes up and sees what's going on. And he's like, I'm so sorry, and then he runs away.
And then a bunch of bad guys who are walking in slowly just then start to break into a sprint.
Yeah, and they're all sprint after him, and it zooms out, and there's all these people watching, and Tom Cruise is running through this funeral with a lot of bad guys chasing after him. And then he runs across that bridge for ages.
The bridge is brilliant, yeah.
You love that bit.
Yeah, because you were saying that because Tom Cruise does all his own stunts, and he probably insisted on running the entire length of that massive bridge.
There's a lot of running.
Yeah, so he didn't want you to think that they'd cut it. He didn't want to have too many shots in case you might think maybe he only sprinted a quarter, then sprinted another quarter, another quarter. So it's just one long shot of him sprinting from one end of the bridge to the other. It takes him about 20 minutes to get to the bridge. He's full on sprinting the whole time. We were really impressed with that.
His cardio is incredible.
Yeah,
especially he's 56, did we say, or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
He's quite old.
That's why he shot it like that. He's just he's like, I've done this, and I want everyone to know I've done this. So it's like watching a marathon on TV.
Yeah, it's incredible. And he's chasing after a man half his age.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't catch him, and the plan is revealed, isn't it? That they figure it out somehow. But the big plot of the movie, what the bad guys are trying to do, is go to this glacier, which supplies a third of the world's population with water somehow, and hit it with a nuclear blast.
To evaporate it, I imagine.
Oh no, I thought they were trying to irradiate. Anyway, they're trying to ruin the water supply.
Yeah,
so that people will die. My question is, if they're trying to, why don't they just poison the water supply? Why do they have to hit it with a nuclear bomb?
Because it's nuclear, isn't it? That's what they do. It's just like, they had to escalate it to nuclear bombs this time, and just like destroy the entire world. They were just like, I think there's a couple of references where it's like, it's got to be as bad as the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's what anybody knows about nuclear warfare, is that went pretty badly in the 60s.
It's going to be as bad as the nuclear.
They always say that, it's a Cuban Missile Crisis. This is Cuban Missile Crisis 2.
That's the name of the next Mission Impossible movie.
God.
Mission Impossible 7, Cuban Missile Crisis 2.
Yeah. There's another point as well that we should mention. When he's chasing after Cavill and he's just about caught up to him, he goes up in this like freight lift kind of thing. And Tom Cruise hangs to the bottom of the cage with his like fingers, his really strong fingers, and he's an entire scene of him just hanging onto this thing, and you're saying he must have fucking bicep fingers to hold on to that.
He's got incredible upper body.
And then Cavill just pulls out his trump card, even though he's like not been anywhere since they've all been together. So he must have been carrying around a picture of Tom Cruise's wife the whole film, and he just goes, as he's hanging, he just like puts a picture of his wife on the bottom of the cage that you can see through, and it's just like, we've got your wife, and if you come after us, we're going to kill her.
Which he could have told him at the start.
Exactly, but it was just like, you know, Mission Impossible 3 was a pretty decent film, so same storyline. We've got your wife again. It's like, I didn't know his wife was still going.
And they also so Henry Cavill's going into a building, and Tom Cruise just catches up with him. So Henry Cavill gets in this lift, and Tom Cruise runs after him, and the lift kind of is moving. So the lift sets off. Tom Cruise grabs the bottom of it, and then after a few meters, Henry Cavill realizes he's there. So he's been sitting. He must have noticed the lift shake when he grabbed it, but he's just been standing there minding his own business, reading the paper or whatever. And then he looks down, and Tom Cruise is just hanging over the bottom.
It doesn't seem nice, does he? He's like, "Oh, Tom, you're down there. I've got your wife." He was in the inside pocket of his jacket. He's been kissing it at night. Must have been on missions.
And then the issue is that wherever this glacier
place
that they're gonna nuke, that has recently had a big outbreak of like Ebola or something, which was also made by this evil organisation. And Tom Cruise's wife, who is a doctor, is she a doctor in the other movies?
She worked for a hospital in the other movies, and that's where they abducted her from.
Right.
But now she's like like a medicine sans frontier kind of person. She's just like, but Doctors Without Borders, is that what it's called?
Something like
that kind of thing, where she's helping out random countries with her new husband.
And she happens to be in this place. So Tom Cruise gets there with his team, which now includes that English woman, who I don't know the name of. But she's alright. She's pretty good in this movie.
Yeah, she's not bad. She was alright in the one before as well. She's just kind of a weird little gnat that keeps coming back.
It's nice to have she gets a fight scene. It's nice to have a woman who has a fight scene in these movies.
She's basically the Black Widow of these films, isn't she?
Yeah. She's really good. She's actually really good when I think about it. Her accent's a bit weird, but she's really
it's just weird how she just kept like turning up wherever Tom Cruise was. She just followed him all the time.
She must be tracking him somehow.
Yeah.
But she's there, he's there, Ving Rhames is there, who's in this movie all the way through and doesn't really do anything until the end.
It's the first one for a while because he was in the first two full on.
Yeah.
Third film he kind of took a backtrack a bit, but Simon Pegg was in the office and then he was still kind of out in the field. Then 4 he swapped with Pegg and was not in it really at all.
Yeah.
And 5 he wasn't really in it at all, but then this one he's just in it.
Because Jeremy Renner's not in this movie, he's in.
It's going to turn off in 10 minutes.
There you go, you can use that.
Turn it on.
So he's not in this movie and Ving Rhames is back.
Oh shit, turn off now. I'm back again.
No,
it's a new user.
There you go.
I'll do.
We're back. Ving Rhames is back. Simon Pegg's there. Those two don't really do very much, but they're fun to have around. And then also in this place is Tom Cruise's wife. And one of the best parts of the movie is where Tom Cruise runs into one of the hospital buildings to find something. All the team run with him, and then they realise that the nuclear bombs that they're looking for are spread out around this camp. So they come running outside, they're all running off in different directions, and then Tom Cruise's wife is there, and all of them stop mid-run.
Basically just in a pose.
And Tom Cruise is stood in front of his wife and he's like, "Oh, hi, it's good to see you again." And she's excited to see him, and then she kind of immediately realises if he's there something bad is happening. And then her husband comes, her new husband, who's like...
Just some random derp guy, isn't
Yeah.
Like, an actor no one's ever seen before. He's got like nice hair and a beard.
Yeah, he looks like the kind of guy who would be if this was like a comedy and Tom Cruise was like a loser stoner guy trying to get the girl, he would be the boyfriend who doesn't really appreciate the girl, but he's there anyway. And she's like, he's a bit of a dick. Like he says a couple of things about like, oh hey, we have to go now, maybe you can talk on the drive tomorrow and stuff, and he doesn't really want them to talk to each other. But mostly he's a nice man, and also he's in another country helping poor like children and stuff survive. So.
Yeah, but in that scene, it's like he goes up, he runs up, everyone pauses.
Everyone's still so still. Yeah,
and then he's like, they have a really awkward conversation about how he's not seen her since they were married.
Yeah,
like and how she's had to be. I think she's had to be like shipped back and forth because I think in the fourth film he talks about how his wife's been in like hiding and stuff, and she's right at the end of the film. He sees her across like a bay or something.
Yeah.
And like nod at each other kind of thing, but they're not allowed to go anywhere near each other.
No.
So they make reference to the fact that
Ving Rhames taught her to hide.
Oh, did he? Okay.
They mention it in number 6. He's telling the new English woman about what happened, and he's like, I taught Tom Cruise's wife to hide.
Yeah.
Ethan Hunt's wife to hide.
Oh yeah.
And now she's really good at hiding, and she stays in secret and stuff.
Yeah, but then obviously they made sure that she went to Saudi, but I don't think the Ebola even exists there. Or if it does, like they put it in there themselves, the bad guys, to get her to go there, because that's their version of having her hostage. She's in the area that's going to get nuked.
Yeah.
So he knows then. When he sees her, he's like, fuck. Because they've already told him that they've got his wife, and then she's just like there.
Exactly.
His ex-wife.
He can't tell her, and he also can't say, remember when we used to be married, because the husband is also there. So she's like, the bit where she realises is, she's like, why are you here? And he's like, I'm on business. And she's like, oh no.
Like
that means something's going to get nuked.
And he says I'm sorry to her as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And then him and all the team, because he pretends that, like, the husband comes up and he's like, oh, I'm a doctor too, and I'm just visiting the area, and I used to know whatever her name is because we used to be friends, and he just pretends he's someone completely different, and they have this really civil conversation, and then Ving Rhames is like, Ethan, we need to go, and Tom Cruise just turns around and runs away.
And then they all just run, don't they? And she's just like, oh, and then a big group of people just ran away from me.
And the wife doesn't say anything, and the husband just kind of walks away. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's funny.
Why did they not think that was unusual?
Is the rest of the film split across like 3 parts, is it? Because there's like 2 different bombs, and then Tom Cruise is chasing Cavill.
Yeah, because he's got like a key, but he's in a helicopter escaping.
Because the bombs can't be turned off manually with the wires unless you get the... Yeah, you have to cut the wires at the same time, or after you've pulled out the key from the trigger mechanism that Cavill's got hold of. So Tom Cruise is after the trigger mechanism, they're all waiting next to the bombs with the wire. But one of the bombs is missing, and Simon Pegg and the English woman are looking for that bomb. Yeah, and then Ving Rhames and Tom Cruise's ex-wife are just on the other bombs having a chat, and then like he's telling them what to cut.
Because they find the bomb.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames finds the first bomb like in 30 seconds.
And she just randomly shows up his wife.
Yeah. She's like, I want to help, and he's like, well, I mean, this is nuclear bomb technology, but fine, you can help me.
Yeah.
And so they go through, and there's like a funny bit where he's like, you need to cut the red wire, and she's like, the red wire, are you sure? And he's like, no, actually, I meant the yellow wire.
What a joke, we almost all died from a nuclear bomb. A jokester.
While that's going on, Simon Pegg and the English woman, who has a vendetta against the kind of ultimate evil bad guy who they saved earlier on, because he used to be her boss when she was undercover and stuff.
And he's decided that he's going to stay there with the nuclear bombs and die, the bad guy as well, isn't he?
Because he knows he's on his way out.
Yeah, I'll just stay here anyway, because he's sick of being chased, I guess, and he's just like, I'll die with the bombs and it'll be my legacy.
And he wants to see Tom Cruise watch his wife also get nuked.
Yeah, because he hates him.
Because he hates Tom Cruise.
Because he caught him in the last film.
Because he's an anarchist, but the real thing he wants is Tom Cruise to get killed.
Yeah, his life revolves around Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And then, so they find him in a house with the other nuke.
Because Pegg finds a room full of big briefcases with padlocks, and he's knocking each one off with like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, so he can see if it's inside.
Yeah, and he's doing that, and she goes off by herself because she's probably sick of his bullshit.
Yeah.
She goes off by herself, and she runs into the bad guy, and she in a house. And they have a fight. He wins, ties her to a chair or something. But she tells before she gets to the chair, she's like, Simon, or whatever his name is.
Well, he comes and he comes running looking for her.
Yeah, because he doesn't know which house she's in, he's checking them all out. And then when he finally finds her in a chair, he does the usual action film thing of just being like, are you alright? I'll untie you. I won't check the room for the person who tied you up.
And she's going mad, like shaking her head.
Yeah, she's like, oh, someone's got to come behind me. He's like, but let me just get these ropes off. This is the most pertinent thing. It's like, any video game you play, you don't like go to the dead body or like the person dying and help them out. You look for what fucking did it.
Yeah,
and he doesn't.
Yeah. And then, especially because in the context of this, she's in trouble, but also so are like a third of the world's population. So we should be focusing on them first, really.
Yeah. And he doesn't have that much of an attachment to her. He barely even knows this woman.
Yeah, they've only just met, really. Yeah. But yeah, he goes to save her, and then he gets attacked by the bad guy.
Yeah. Bad
guy ties him to. He's gonna hang him, isn't he? He like.
Yeah, he's gonna hang him, and so he's got a bad rope over the thing, and he's tied it to something, and he's hanging, and the woman like breaks free somehow, kicks something under his feet, so he's like, one of his toes is basically bouncing like a bin or something, and he's just like keeping it up, and at some point it gets knocked out from under him again, doesn't it?
Well, what happens is he's tiptoeing on the stool, and she's fighting the bad guy, and the bad guy has like a chokehold on her and stuff, but they're right in front of Simon Pegg, so Simon Pegg kind of decides to sacrifice himself and kick the bad guy off, so he like kicks him and then knocks the stool over and he starts being strangled again.
Yeah.
And then she's quite emotional, she stops him, stops the bad guy.
Somehow gets pegged down.
Yeah.
Do they worry for a bit like maybe he's dead? I can't remember if they do that.
She saves him, there's like a few seconds where
his eyes roll back for a second when he coughs and lives.
Yeah. And then they find the other bomb, and so they're defusing one of them. Ving Rhames is defusing the other. And
then the rest of the attention is just focused on Tom Cruise's chase. Yeah, which is the best part. Maybe.
Which is the best part of the movie.
You think it's the best part of the movie, don't you?
My favourite part of the movie is, and we'll talk about this later in more detail, because it's great, is Tom Cruise, it's two-parter, right? Henry Cavill escapes in a helicopter. There's two helicopters, there's one with Henry Cavill in, and one with, like it's carrying like a bundle of washing or something stupid. It's like a bundle of fabric.
It's a big ball of something.
Yeah, but it's on a big rope hanging below the helicopter. So Tom Cruise manages to grab it as the helicopter's taking off. And my first favourite part is where, similar to when he's running across the bridge, we get like a 30-second scene of Tom Cruise shimmying up a rope on the helicopter.
Yeah, he shimmers the entire rope. Yeah. It's like a big, like long shot, isn't it? So the helicopter's just in frame. So that was it. It's just in frame the whole time. And then the rope's there, and Tom Cruise is just wriggling slowly, because it's hard to climb up a rope, especially in a helicopter, slowly.
When it's moving,
for like 30 seconds, you get to watch the whole thing. It's
it's really great. It's just a fantastic feat. And then he gets into the helicopter. He beats up. There's two bad guys, and they do this. This is a classic action scene thing. He beats up one of the bad guys, and the bad guy accidentally shoots the driver or the pilot of the helicopter. And this happens in cars all the time in movies. So he throws away the first bad guy. He throws the dead body of the pilot out the window, and then he has to figure out how to pull up the helicopter. And it's revealed then that Tom Cruise doesn't know how to fly a helicopter. He's just
in the situation. But up until this point as well, I'm going to point this out before we carry on, there's this weird thing where because they don't want to explain anything that they're doing, Tom Cruise always says, I'll figure it out. It's like, how are you going to pull it off? He's like, I'll figure it out. It's like a funny joke all the way through the film. I thought it was really funny. He keeps saying, I'm going to figure it out. And then like he gets in a helicopter, can't fly. He's no one to speak to, but in his head he's thinking, I'll figure it out.
Because he takes off to try and he runs off to try and stop Henry Cavill, who's in a helicopter. And the only option he has is to get into the second helicopter. So the big question is, how are you going to get from one helicopter to another to get to Henry Cavill?
Yeah, because you can't just jump from it's not the same as like when they jump from a car to a car or a car to a train in films where it's driving alongside it. They're flying, you know.
And they're above like mountains.
Yeah, above mountains, and they've got like blades spinning. There's no way, and Tom Cruise can't fly a helicopter. So how's he going to make the manoeuvre where he slowly edges up to the side and jumps out?
Because he says that on the radio. He's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but he somehow anyway he manages to pull himself out of this death dive that he's in. Just by pulling the stick.
Isn't like a sticker or something on it? He moves his thumb out. There's a sticker that says something like "just pull up" or something on it.
No, what it is, he pulls up, and then this is the actual best part of the movie.
Right.
He's in the helicopter, which he's now figured out how to fly, and he sees Henry Cavill's helicopter, and he's got this bag of washing that he's been carrying under the thing, and he's like, "Wait a minute!" So he goes above the other one, and you can tell his plan is to drop it drop the big ball of washing onto Henry Cavill and kill him. And I don't know how he's going to get to Henry Cavill's dead body.
Yeah, he gets the trigger and stuff like that.
But this is his first plan. So he goes up above the thing, and he's looking for the button that will drop the washing bag. I keep calling it that. It's just like a big bag.
I don't know what it's a bundle. I don't know why it's there.
It's a rope bundle of like white fabric-y stuff.
It's just a reason to have a second helicopter, but it's not even a reason to have a second. You don't know what it's carrying. There should just be one helicopter.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so he's like, what's the button that's going to drop this payload? And then he moves his thumb, and there's a little button with a little sticky note on it that says payload. And he's like, oh, cool.
Absolutely,
he takes it off.
His thumb just covered it. There's like a close-up of his thumb, and he goes, "Oh!" Presses the button.
And it's like, I think that's one of my favourite parts, because it's kind of where it peaks with taking the mick out of itself.
Yeah.
It knows this movie's very self-aware, and it knows that it's a bit silly. Yeah. So like Tom Cruise just like pressing buttons and trying to figure out.
And alongside the "I'll figure it out" thing, he has this bewildered look that he dons, which he's never had in the other films. Like in other films, he always knows what he's going to do. And he always figures it out, and that's probably the joke. He's just like, well, if he was a real person, he wouldn't. He doesn't know beforehand what he's going to do.
No.
So it would make him look that way. So he's just like, and he runs, and he's just like, and then he like gets in a helicopter, and he's like, oh man, I'm flying it, and then he's like, he's shimming up the rope as well. He's like, oh, my laundry. And like, he shimmies up the rope, and he just every single.
He's always not sure.
Yeah, he's just a bit mad. That's why he's like, this is like peak madness for Tom Cruise. He's just like, what's going on?
He's not like in some of these ones. Which one have we gone here? Oh, this is a later one.
Yeah.
But in like Mission Impossible 1, he's like all suave and sophisticated and stuff. In this one, he's not like that at all.
No.
Like he's just making things up as he goes along.
Yeah. Two is the one where he's the most like he's the most meant to be suave, and he has like long hair. No, it's just dumb. It's all slow motion. He knows what he's doing all the way through it.
Yeah, and there's no like it doesn't understand itself too.
That's all.
Doesn't know what it is.
It just knows that this is the millennium, and things have to just be
in
ridiculous in slow motion and awful, and there has to be at least 2,000 mask pulls, one for each year since Jesus died. I don't know why.
So. He eventually gets control of it.
When
he drops the washing, but it misses.
It misses. I was going to say that it missed. Yeah.
He kind of moves out of the way of it. The other guy notices it and moves, I think.
Yeah.
And then he rams into the other helicopter.
Yeah.
Is that what happens?
I think so. Yeah. And then at some point, I know Cavill gets a big minigun out. Or something, just like with his big muscles, is just holding it outside of the helicopter and just firing at Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise has never flown a helicopter. He's just like doing bullet time from Matrix, but in a helicopter, just like dodging every single bullet. But. Yeah, and then at some point, then is that when they crash into each other? Because there's a bit where both helicopters crash, but neither explodes for some unexplained
Henry
reason.
Cavill figures out that Tom Cruise is trying to ram him, and he says to the pilot, he's like, he's trying to ram us, so we know that he's trying to ram us. And they escape from it for a bit, and they're trying to ram him, and Henry Cavill's trying to shoot him down before he can hit him with the helicopter, and then eventually they slam into each other. And they both roll down this like snowy hill, and Tom Cruise's helicopter stops at the bottom, and he's trying to get out of. He's stuck in like his seatbelt, and he's trying to get out, and he's in a rush, and then it zooms out, and you see the other one roll down towards him with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that's true.
They slam into each other and go off a cliff, which doesn't kill either man.
No, because he gets jammed in a small. It's like the cliff ends, and then there's like two big juts of rock coming out. And they just like slide down the middle of that rock to a point, stop in the middle of it, and then they're just like wedged in between it.
Yeah.
Do they fall from there as well? They must have to.
They do. Yeah. They first of all, he gets out of the messed up helicopter he was in, Tom Cruise does, and he gets in the one with Henry Cavill, and then that one falls. And it hits that kind of rock slope. Yeah. And then there's a big rope coming out of it, and the rope gets caught on another rock.
It gets caught on like a tiny bit of tiny rock that's sticking out of it.
Yeah. It's a hook, and it just hooks the rock.
Oh, it's a hook, that's it, that's important. that hook becomes really important later, like a few minutes later in the film.
Because then they're just fighting, aren't they?
Then they're fighting, which is kind of fun to watch them fight.
It's really good.
Yeah, and then...
Oh, Henry Cavill's face gets melted.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Which I was like, his face gets melted by like acid or something.
Oh, it has some oil or something from the helicopter. It's like, a pipe pops out, sprays in his face, and I was like, it's probably maybe blinded him a bit because a bit of oil's got on his face. He gets out and half his face is melted.
Yeah, it's like burned off.
Even though whatever that liquid was went all over his face, it only burnt this much of his face and doesn't explain why it burnt him.
No. And
helicopters must have acid in them. Did it run on acid?
It's got acid. Maybe that's what that bundle was, just more acid.
Yeah, maybe, maybe Tom Cruise was taking acid and he saw his face all burnt.
And then
That's why he was so bewildered. He was like,
he's just on acid all over. This movie
big,
could
big
be Tom
elephants.
Cruise. It's him in a room imagining all this stuff happening.
big trip.
And then because I thought, I don't know what you thought, but when his face got burnt off, I was like, oh, he's gonna come back because he looks like a supervillain now.
Yeah.
So he'll be on in the movie, like in another movie, like in the next movie or
Yeah.
whatever, with half of his face, half
Like
half
Dark
a
Knight, isn't it?
mustache.
Yeah, half a mustache. Yeah.
But that doesn't happen
No.
because they have the fight, and then how does he die?
I'll explain. I'll explain how he dies. They're having a fight, and for some reason do they fall off, and are they fighting on top of the helicopter when they fall? Or they're hanging onto each other or a rope.
So the rope is like on a rock.
Hooked into a rock, and it comes off a little bit, and then the helicopter's still dangling a bit lower than that, isn't it?
Yeah, off a cliff.
Off a cliff, yeah, and a bit lower. So there's a bit of rope off the cliff before the helicopter's hanging, and then they're fighting on top of the helicopter or on the rope.
No, they're both holding on the rope, and like Tom Cruise is above, and he's trying to.
He's like kicking down, yeah, and then Cavill's like climbing his way back up, and is almost like got his way back
half
a face, almost got hold of Cruise and is going to win.
Yeah.
And then the hook. First the hook flings off, catches onto another rock.
Yeah, to another rock.
So the helicopter's even further down. They're like, whoa! And then they just carry on doing the kicking, grabbing thing, and then the hook eventually comes off completely.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise jumps off. I think maybe even in slow motion.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, and he jumps off, grabs hold of the rock face, so he's rock climbing like in Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, because he's using his skills.
He's like, I'm showing you, I'm Tom Cruise. I can run, I can grab, I can do everything. And he's like jumps, grabs hold of the rock, and the hook comes down on the end of the rope, hooks Henry Cavill in the head, and the helicopter just pulls him down off the edge of the cliff via his forehead. He's like,
and then the helicopter hits the ground and explodes, and Henry Cavill's body goes into the fire.
Yeah.
So if he's not dead, that will be
maybe his character in the next film will just be like a charred body or something. I don't know. They'll make some robot arms or legs.
He's the most like he couldn't not see. This is
I'm small now.
Yeah, but this is Tom Cruise. This is where it's established in Mission Impossible 2 that he's the greatest rock climber in the world.
But so he'd already learnt the rock climbing, and he's like, you know what? I've learnt this skill. I've only used it once.
I bet I use
Put a bit more in this film. Yeah.
And then he's got to climb to the top of the rock face because the little trigger that they need is up there, so he has to take it out of the detonator. And then he's lost contact with Simon Pegg and Ving Rhames, so they just figure we'll wait until the last second and then we'll pull.
Did you have like an argument about which second? Like the last 5 seconds? Like, oh no, it's like about 3 seconds. Is that kind of a bit close? They have a bit of an argument over heads.
He's like, we'll do it in. He's like 3 seconds. He's like, yeah, that's not giving him enough time. So Ving Rhames is like 2 seconds, and then Simon Pegg is like, if we're gonna do 2 seconds, it might as well be 1 second.
Yeah.
So they wait until it counts down to 1 second, and then while it's counting down, Tom Cruise is that's like the tensest part of the movie. He's rock climbing back up as fast as he can.
Yeah.
Free climbing on this like rock face.
And then you don't know what's happened to him. You know they're cutting the wires. They've completely cut out Tom Cruise's story until we see them cut the wires, so we think it might blow up. And then it just shows Tom Cruise lying there. Is it his teeth? He pulls the key out of his teeth or something. Does it? Something weird like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, got it out of it.
It's all goes white, and then it kind of zooms back, and the white that you can see is the sky that Tom Cruise can see in the distance.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and then it zooms out, and he kind of turns, and he's got it in his mouth, and he spits it down the hill, and everyone's fine. And he saved the day.
And that saved the day, and then I think that's just the film, isn't it? Whatever happens after that, it's just...
She gets out of MI5 or MI6 somehow.
She's done now. I guess because like Cavill was the one she had to kill, and he's dead now.
Yeah.
So.
No, she had to kill the other guy.
Oh, the guy with
the
old guy. Yeah.
And she kills him.
She does kill him. Yeah.
She strangles him or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh no, she doesn't kill him.
Does she not?
Don't they capture him? And he's like really upset because his plans
are
foiled.
And he wanted to die as well, didn't he? So they don't let him die. Yeah.
And then they take him back.
But I don't know how she gets that out of MI5 then, because they want him dead, don't they? So they won't say anything.
I
think they gave him to MI5. I think at the end they were saying like, we'll give him to MI5 and they can deal with him the way they want to. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they give him back to the British.
Yeah.
Which is the real moral of this story. The British people win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we need a win.
Well, I noticed that there's like in every single film they have like a little British tinge to it. It's like the first one, I think it's not in London at the start, there's a part that's in London.
Right.
It's all different. They're either in England at some point in the films, or they've got English actors in it at some point, Anthony Hopkins or something like that. So I think it's because of James Bond, is what I think anyway. I picked up on all British.
Because this is, Mission Impossible is Tom Cruise is owed to James Bond.
Yeah,
he's never been allowed to be James Bond, and he's upset about that, so he's made these movies.
Some
of them are better than some James Bond films.
But there was a scene as well. We kind of like briefly washed over it, but it's my favourite scene. So if you want, should we talk about it?
Okay. So
we mentioned.
We know what happened in the movie.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned your favourite scene was that whole helicopter thing that happened, which is amazing, and I think it's great.
My favourite bit is where he can't find the button to press, and then it's fine because someone's written it on for
the payload. That is really good. But I really like the fight scene at the start. Like, so after they've gone to the parachutes and he makes that quip
and they're in a big party.
Yeah, they're a big party. They go into the bathroom to find the guy they think is the seller, even though Cavill is that guy, but Cruise doesn't know.
Yeah.
And they fight this Asian guy who's just in there, and then like Cavill tells Cruise that he's the one. And at this point, we think that Cavill's a good guy. We're supposed to anyway.
Yeah.
But you figure out that he's obviously not.
Yeah.
And they fight this Asian guy who knows every martial arts. He's basically Jackie Chan.
He's basically Jackie Chan.
And then he beats the shit out of both of them, even though Cavill is like 6 times the size of him. He just like beats the shit out of both of them. Like, they get a couple of shots in on him, but it doesn't matter. At one point, Cavill gets frustrated at being beaten up, pushes him against the wall, and is like digging into his stomach. Punching him in the stomach, and then there's like parts where like Cavill like throws the guy, or Tom Cruise somebody goes through part of the wall and it just breaks. Like
Tom Cruise like tackles him through the wall.
Yeah, and then like a big chunk of the wall just comes off as though it's made of paper, and then they basically trash the entire bathroom, don't they? Yeah. But the scene's really funny and weird, and the way that they fight each other, you don't expect this weird martial arts thing where two guys who would basically just throwing punches are getting beaten up by a martial arts master out of nowhere, and then
because it opens at the start. Tom Cruise tries to inject the martial arts guy with like a thing to chill him out,
yeah.
And he can't get him. He tries to grab him and the guy's too fast and he stops him. And then Henry Cavill hits him on the back of the head with a suitcase. And knocks him out. So they're in the bathroom trying to scan his face so Tom Cruise can pretend to be him.
But the laptop was
the laptop's broken because it was the briefcase that he used. Then he wakes up and they start fighting, and there's other guys in the bathroom, and they look under the stall, and there's like 3 guys' feet. The
French people, and
it's like a little
stand or something, isn't it? Like 4 of them. Yeah.
They're like laughing at him and then shaking the stall.
Like, can we come in?
Yeah,
because like 3 guys fucking in a cubicle.
Yeah, that's how they. And then it all starts shaking because they start fighting inside, and the French guys are like, "This is weird," and they leave.
And they just leave the bathroom. Yeah. But that's when you knew it was silly. That's the scene where you first realise it's silly. That's why I like it so much. Yeah. Up until that point, I was like 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Same thing again. And then that scene happened, and we were like, "That's a really weird, funny scene." I still expected it in isolation. Like they'd done it by accident. That made it that funny by accident. But there were so many scenes like that, like the chase scenes and the helicopter scene, that it was obviously on purpose. And the constant reference to "I'll figure it out" was obviously.
And I guess that's the first one where Tom Cruise puts on this persona. Where he doesn't actually know what he's doing, does he? Like in that scene, he tries to fight and he can't, and he just like he gets annoyed and tries to tackle the guy through the wall, which is just what the rest of the movie is.
Yeah, just him trying to figure stuff out and just like throwing himself at everything. Just like, what did I used to do in these situations? I think I just used to try things out. And I'll try that out, see if it works. This is brilliant.
And so
that's the end of our recap then.
That's the end of our recap. I've got favourite bit, worst bit written down. We've already talked about our favourite bit. I think the worst part of this movie, and I feel bad about it, is that Halo jump bit.
Do you think?
Because I think the actual jump is okay, but there's some stuff before it when Henry Cavill, it's like the first part where Henry Cavill's in the movie, it just makes him look like such an idiot.
Yeah.
Because he's like taking the mick out of Tom Cruise and he's never done a Halo jump before, and he's like, I'll be fine, I don't need your help, I'll figure it out and all this stuff. And then he nearly jumps out without plugging his oxygen in.
Yeah.
And then Tom Cruise plugs his oxygen in and Henry Cavill looks like an idiot. And he's like, oh, no, maybe we shouldn't jump. And Tom Cruise goes to look and he's like, yeah, we shouldn't jump, it's lightning and stuff down there.
Yeah.
You see like a thunderstorm. And then he comes back and Henry Cavill's like, haha, just kidding, I can do anything. And he pulls out Tom Cruise's oxygen and then throws himself out of an airplane into a thunderstorm. And I was like, this is just... He makes himself look like such an idiot. And then Tom Cruise jumps out, and the filming there is good. Like, he's dropping down, and someone's obviously gone with him. You can see the 2 of them falling into this big storm, and it looks really cool. But I think it just makes Henry Cavill look like an idiot.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because like Tom Cruise helps him out, put his oxygen in for him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm going to take your oxygen out. And jump into a thunderstorm head first.
And then he gets hit by a bolt of lightning. And which doesn't kill him.
Within it's like the first strike of lightning that's happened since he jumped out of the plane, and it hits him directly.
Hits him directly. Yeah. But he is a big man covered in metal in the sky, so it's not a shock that he gets hit by it.
It is a shock.
What's
Physically shocked.
What's your favourite part?
What's the worst part?
Your favourite worst part of the movie?
The worst part. I don't know. Yeah, that one obviously stands out. I don't know because I guess the basement part, the part where they're all in the basement. So I like when Simon. I call it a basement. It's like an underground lair or something, isn't it? Where they're having a big discussion with Alec Baldwin and with that guy when they capture the guy with the beard, the evil guy, and Henry Cavill reveals himself as the bad guy to the other bad guy who's actually Simon Pegg. I loved all that, but then everything just comes out. Everything just kicks off. It's like so. Then they've got Cavill. I can't even explain it because it was so bad. They've got Cavill. And they're like, haha, we found you out. And then they all walk in to be like, hey, we got you. Once Simon Pegg reveals his mask. And then Cavill's like, haha, but my men are here now. Like, straight away, all the lights go out, his men are there. Yeah. And then I think that some CIA guy shows up as well. And and the woman is on the phone to them, the woman who's the director of the CIA. Is just like, I've sent my CIA people there to catch you as well, or to take Cavill's, and it's one of those things. And they come in, so they have a big gunfight of like Cavill's men and her men, and then they're all fighting in the basement. And honestly, like, at that point, I was just like, what the hell is going on? Everyone, because that goes on for a while, and they're all fighting each other, and it's all shooting and stuff. And the chase scene that followed made up for it completely. Yeah. But that scene in itself was where I felt like I was following it pretty easily until that point. I didn't, and then as well, that woman was there. She just appeared. Yeah, the English woman just appeared and was just lurking in the shadows, and then she ends up helping out and then just joining them. But there's no explanation of why everybody's there, and then it's just like a big.
And it's dark as well.
It's dark, and everyone just shows up at exactly the same time. Yeah. Like, as soon as Cavill finds out that they've got him, his men show up, and as soon as his men show up, the CIA's men show up. Yeah. All at the same time, and then everything just like kicks off, and it's quite hard to follow.
It's basically like, it's everything kicks off at once, and the whole movie hinges on that moment because they've captured the bad guy, and then the other bad guy steals him away. Yeah. But it only happens because the CIA send people to disrupt the mission or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. They could have had him as well.
Yeah.
But,
and then Tom Cruise kills people though, right? From American people from the CIA.
yeah. And then chases after him.
But yeah.
That's probably my least favourite part. But I thought the film was really good because
it's great.
It was more self-aware than any of them.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely one of the top Mission Impossible movies. It's the other things I've got written down here are would you watch a sequel? Which I think the answer is yeah.
I'll watch a sequel. If it was in that same style like Tom Cruise. And it'd be funny if Tom Cruise was losing his mind a little bit more as well, and sometimes someone's explaining his mission to him or something, and he's just like, he looks like he's listening, he's looking at the floor, and it looks like he's listening and explaining the mission, and he's just like, sorry, did you do something? Just something really stupid where he's just not listening to anyone anymore, and he's just like, oh. He just bumbles his way into rooms and accidentally wins fights by like falling over and dodging bullets. I don't know. They go really extreme with it.
I was saying, Tom Cruise in these movies is slowly turning into Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
He said that, yeah. He's at the start of them. He's a bit like Mel Gibson off Lethal Weapon, and he's the best at everything. But by now, he's like he doesn't know what's going on. He's bumbling around, and he's like not as fit as he used to be. So like, he looks like he's getting tired all the time. Yeah. He basically looks like he's about to say, "I'm too old for this shit." That's what it looks like all the way through this movie.
I'm too old for this shit. I guess Lethal Weapon. How many films did that have?
4?
4. 5 including the one on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5
I mean, they might even do a 6.
I think Always Sunny has a 5 and 6.
5 and 6, right? So it's a 6. It's a 6 film epic then.
I think I would definitely watch the sequel.
Definitely, yeah.
Because they're good. These are good films. They're fun.
Yeah. Well, I had more fun with this one than I had with any of the others. The first one was like, in terms of story, it was better.
Do you think you didn't enjoy the others as much because you sat on your own watching them one after another?
Maybe, yeah. I think that's why I can't tell 4 and 5 apart sometimes because they're so similar.
Yeah.
One of my favourite parts of the whole franchise was the sandstorm chase scene. I think that might have been in 4.
That's 4. That's really good.
I really like that scene because he had the goggles on for climbing the side of the building.
Yeah.
And I think he's about to walk into a room because they're going to pretend to be because the mask machine breaks, so they can't actually be the guys they're supposed to be. Yeah. They just hope that they've never seen these guys before and that they can just pretend they are them.
Which they do in 6 as well.
Yeah, and he's about to walk in the room, and Tom Cruise is still wearing his goggles, and I think Simon Pegg's with him, and he's just like, "Goggles, take your goggles off," and he takes the goggles off, puts them in the pocket, and then when he's chasing him in the sandstorm, he pulls them out of his pocket, wears them, and uses them to stop the sand from getting in his eyes. Yeah. Whereas like the other, and like. The guy in front of him who's running away grabs like a rag off like a stall as he's running away, uses that as a mask to block his face, then Tom Cruise follows suit, so he's running around with his goggles and on.
That's cool.
I think it's quite clever that he came up with that. And he's got that tracker as well, so you can see where he is, he's following him via a tracker that he's got into the guy at some point. But then the whole scene's ruined when the guy pulls his mask off and is the bad guy.
It's the bad.
Because that's the only mask in that film, and I thought they were going to do no mask.
The masks in this in 6 are good though.
Yeah.
Both mask uses.
They're on
I think
purpose.
they're good.
Yeah. Do you want to do some trivia then?
Oh yeah, let's go through the IMDb trivia. The other thing I want to talk about is Henry Cavill's mustache in this movie worth the millions that Warner Brothers spent CGIing it off in Justice League?
I don't know why it was so important, the mustache. Is it because he's an evil guy and he has to have something on his face?
Because the story, for anyone who doesn't know, is that he filmed Justice League, where he's Superman. Then they started production on Mission Impossible 6, Mission Impossible Fallout. They filmed the majority of that movie, and then Warner Brothers came and they were like, we want to refilm some Justice League stuff. We know he's grown a mustache paramount for your movie, but we need you to we need him to shave the mustache off, and then we will pay to have the mustache CGI'd back on.
You can't CGI a mustache on someone's face.
You know,
or glue a new one on.
But is it more ridiculous? But so they said no. Paramount were like, no, we've got him under contract. We're not having him take the mustache off. You can figure it out yourself. So Warner Brothers had to CGI the mustache off him for the reshoots. Is it more ridiculous to CGI a mustache off or on?
I think both. Like, I feel like they could have shaved. Mission Impossible could have been like, we'll shave it off, because it's so easy to wear a fake mustache that doesn't look shit in CGI. Yeah. So they could have shaved it off and like wear a fake mustache, because what you know, you have makeup artists, you have special effect artists. If they can put a prosthetic on someone's face, like a burn prosthetic on Henry Cavill's face, why can't they put just a fake mustache? You could use real human hair or horse hair, whatever you want. Shave a bit off the back of his head. They can just like slick over it when he plays Superman. I don't know.
So dumb. And then you've not seen Justice League?
No, I haven't seen it.
The opening sequence of Justice League is like a kid filming something on his phone.
Okay.
And he sees Superman, and it's like Superman's doing like a thing where
he's got a peach mustache.
Yeah.
He's
doing like an eat your vitamins, say your prayers thing. Right. That's Hulk Hogan, actually.
Alright.
But that he's doing like he's a good guy. He wants the kids to be alright. He's trying to be a role model. So he like puts his hand on his hips and he's like, yeah, kids, you can be good people too. But it zooms in on his face and he's got his top lip is like quivering because the CGI is clearly not.
I need to watch the film just so I can see how they could have that mustache.
So it just looks ridiculous. Yeah. It doesn't look as bad as it got credit, as it got abused for looking. Like it doesn't actually look that bad. You can get away if you didn't know, you wouldn't notice at all.
I think if Warner Brothers would have gone to Paramount before Paramount's shooting started and just said, "Can we have no mustache?" They would have just agreed no mustache. Yeah. But it's because they're halfway through filming it, so he can't just shave it off partway through. It looks ridiculous.
And Mission Impossible 6 is a much better film than Justice League.
Yeah.
So the mustache was clearly helping.
Yeah. I mean, a CGI'd out mustache wouldn't have helped Justice League at all. Like, if at least it's a talking point.
Yeah.
Like, if they didn't have that mustache, what would you even say about Justice League?
Yeah. Nothing. So, do you want to do some IMDb trivia?
Okay, we'll do some trivia. Should we take a break and then go into the trivia?
Yeah.
And I'll stop the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll be back. Well, straight away because this is going to be edited.
Yeah. So you won't notice that this is happening.
Exactly. All right. So we're back. For some reason, it's warm in Manchester for the first time this year. Well, not the first time this year. It's been pretty warm recently.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared.
Inordinately hot at the moment.
Yeah. So my jumper's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. Right, and we're going to do trivia now. So says Tom Cruise trained for an entire year to perform the Halo, that's it, high altitude, low opening stunt in this film.
Which is not what this movie has.
No.
It's a great opening.
They had a great opening.
Yeah.
A brilliant opening.
There's loads of money on its opening weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are we going to do? We're going to go through these and then decide whether they're true or not. Because it's IMDb trivia, so anyone can put it.
Yeah. Even when you click on it, I'll click on that. It says edit or report this. So I can report and say it's wrong.
So you could
do that in this video.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah, I think it's true.
There's no doubt in my mind.
But you spent a year training, of course.
This next one is mad.
Rebecca Ferguson was pregnant while filming this movie. She was about 7 months pregnant when filming was completed. Was that the British lady who...
I think, that's the British lady.
That's insane.
Because the American lady's called like something Michelle Monaghan or something.
Oh yeah. And she was always a woman.
She's 7 months pregnant. She doesn't look pregnant.
Unless it's a CIA director.
No, I don't. Do you want to check? Because we're not going to pretend that we don't have the magic of the internet in this movie.
Can't even search a name. I can just edit or report.
I've got it here. I'll check.
Alright.
Rebecca Ferguson.
pregnant. 7 months pregnant. 7 months is pretty heavy.
I'm not going to search Rebecca Ferguson pregnant because I don't know.
No, just no. Yeah.
Oh no, it's it's the English woman.
Oh.
Born Rebecca Louisa Ferguson Sundström in Stockholm,
Sundström.
Sweden. So that's why she's got a weird accent.
Oh yeah, so she's Swedish rather than English. So we were right. She wasn't English. But she was 7 months pregnant. Do you think that's true? I can't imagine.
I can buy that because you can do wonderful things. You can CGI people's mustaches off these days.
But and some women don't look that huge when they're pregnant. Some women just kind of like look exactly the same.
If she was 7 months pregnant, then she'd done an incredible job.
Yeah, she can't have done her own stunts if she was 7 months pregnant because that's like too much of a risk for the life of the child, surely.
Yeah, I mean Tom Cruise wouldn't do that. Well, he would still do that if he was pregnant. Actually. He would do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So you saying that you think it's true?
I might say it's not. I might think it's maybe not.
Okay.
But you think it's plausible?
There's no way to measure whether these are true or not, so it's not really a competition. But I'm going to say no. I don't think that's true. I think that's bullshit.
Cool. Right, so it is. Well, we've got it.
I've changed my mind at the last minute.
I was going to say, you said the other way. The film had 3,000 setups. Wait, 3,000 setups, 13 helicopters, 6 pregnancies, 5 hiatuses, 4 weeks of aerial photography, 3 continents, 2 winters, and 1 broken ankle. Broken ankle, I think, could be a plausibility with the rest of it.
The broken ankle thing is there's a famous Tom Cruise bit where he breaks his ankle.
Oh, in that film?
Is that this film or is that the one before?
If it's the one before, then this is a wrong trivia.
No, it's this. No, it's. Let me check.
This is the film.
Again, I'm gonna Google this because that's how these things work.
Yeah.
Also, those things are not all quantifiable in the same way. So, like, the film had 3 continents doesn't make sense.
No. And what's 3,000 setups? What does that even mean? I don't really get that. Setups for what?
Tom Cruise broken foot.
13 helicopters.
Yeah. Oh, so when he was running across the buildings in London, he broke his foot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you want to watch the video? I mean, the camera can't, but we can watch it and then we'll talk about things.
We could find it on here if you want.
Oh yeah, do that. Yeah, do that.
Let's go over these trailers.
Jesus. Yeah, search Tom Cruise broken foot.
Tom Cruise broken foot.
This is the magic of modern day entertainment.
They're typing it on the PlayStation when it takes you 10 hours to type it on the ladder. Go.
Oh no, you should put broken foot in.
Oh yeah, what am I doing? Yeah. Tom Cruise's name.
That's alright.
That's just going to be videos of Tom Cruise.
Breaks ankle.
Breaks ankle. Hey. It's trending.
Why is James Corden number 2?
I don't know.
Here we go. Oh, so that's Graham Norton.
That's him.
That's the one.
No. This one, yeah.
I think that's the one.
Put Sam back on as well.
So this is a great part of the movie.
Is that?
No, it's. Is that it? Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Oh fuck yeah! You got flat-footed onto that wall.
That and
I remember that.
Broken. Yeah. No wonder he struggles to hold on.
No, and then they must shoot the next shot afterwards because there he's in fucking pain.
Oh, that is horrible.
Oh yeah, gone floppy. There's like one shot there went floppy.
That's shocking.
I didn't think it was a BBC American.
It's no wonder he's in so much fun.
He climbed up. Yeah, shit. I thought he just stayed in.
Don't try and stand on it, you mad bastard. That's why he's got a limp in this movie.
That's insane. And it does. I wonder, did he film the chase scenes after that then?
I don't know.
Because like he jumps across that roof, but he's got to run across the bridge. Yeah, maybe they shot that beforehand. But if he runs across the bridge with a dodgy ankle when he's doing that massive sprint he's doing.
This movie just blows my mind.
I know. Well, he definitely broke his ankle then. I can say that much. I don't know about the rest of it.
The rest of it could be. I mean, there's an unusual amount of pregnancy trivia here.
Yeah.
But I could buy that there were 6 pregnancies. There's probably hundreds of.
There can't have been 13 helicopters in the one film, could there? Where else were the helicopters? Because there was 2 helicopters at the end. I can't remember any of the helicopters in the film.
Yeah, but I'm guessing like a lot of them will have been used in helicopter shots rather than actually in the movie.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
To film
different helicopters.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Because in different, if you're filming in 3 continents, you probably need lots of different helicopters.
Yeah. I guess so. Does 3,000 setups just mean like 3,000 like we're starting shooting? Is that what it means? Or like scene? I don't really know what setups means.
I mean, if we were experts, we'd know these things.
Yeah, I'm fucking clear. I'm definitely not an expert.
Right, you can read this one out because it looks too long.
The long one, okay. It says. While Tom Cruise (brackets Ethan Hunt) is famously known for performing his own stunts throughout the franchise, he ups the ante in this installment by performing 4 elaborate set pieces, mostly without green screens or stunt doubles, a halo jump, an unusually dangerous high-altitude low-opening parachute jump, A helmet-free motorcycle
That bit
chase
is
through
great.
Paris.
We didn't talk about that before, but that bit is great.
Motorcycle chase. Oh yeah, that's really good. No, that's
And he
good.
goes the wrong way around the
forgot about
Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and all the cars are coming at him, and he's
Yeah.
going around. There's a big circle of cars, and the camera somehow stays on him and
Yeah.
shows him dodging and weaving, and the cars going past him.
There must be some CGI in that.
I thought the cars are CGI'd, but it sounds like it's a really dangerous helmet-free motorcycle chase. Yeah, because that was really good though.
Yeah, look, including the portion in which Hunt rides against traffic in the circle of the Arc
The
de
Triomphe, yeah, you're right, yeah. An extended foot chase across London rooftops in which Cruise broke his ankle, while jumping between two rooftops. And a helicopter chase in which Cruise does most of the piloting. He did most of the piloting in that film. He's like, oh, what do I do?
I don't think... I'm saying bullshit.
saying
I don't
also
think
no.
that's true.
But just because they portrayed Ethan Hunt as not knowing how he flies a helicopter doesn't mean Tom Cruise can't fly a helicopter.
Yeah, but to let all the rest of them, like when he's running around and stuff, he's got like a big... he's got on that video, he's got a big rope on so that if he falls, he's not going to die. When he was piloting the helicopter, if something went wrong, there's nothing to stop him from dying.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Unless he'd have to have his helicopter stunt license pilot.
Maybe he did. He spent a year doing his altitude jump. Maybe he spent a year learning to be a helicopter pilot.
I think no. I'm saying no.
Okay, cool. He does say most of the piloting, so he won't have done any of the dangerous piloting. Maybe just literally chasing him or something in a helicopter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I don't think most of. Definitely not most of.
Right.
They might have let him sit in the cockpit for a bit.
Yeah.
Like you do with a child when they come to the museum.
You're flying the plane, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's someone behind him.
With real controllers. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, what? He's going down, the plane's going up, and he's like, oh, it's working.
He's got a PlayStation controller with no battery. This next one is something I've just realised we should have talked about anyway.
Oh yeah.
So, White Widow woman, who is the one who's organising the trades, she is introduced as the daughter of Max.
Oh, from the first film, isn't
from
it?
the first film. While never glorified on screen, this is like the reference to the first film in the series. I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't make a lot of sense because I think the timelines are a bit off, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, the kind of...
Yeah, well, the whole film was making reference to the first and second. All of the films had a little bit of a reference in there, didn't they? So it was trying to bring them all together. So I can imagine they put some cameos in there.
Yeah.
Some interesting cameos.
Because they said it, and I was like, I'm sure they said Max before in these films. But
yeah, because she's Max in the first one. Yeah.
She's the biblical character from the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Job, mate. Solomon Lane, so he's the bad guy from the the first film to appear in two films. I know that already. Yeah, because he was in
that's
five
definitely true.
Yeah, because we said that earlier, didn't we? And what's his face? Alec Baldwin's the only director to carry over both films as well.
Yeah.
The bathroom fight was meant to be shot in 4 days, but due to the complexity of the fight, it ended up being shot over 4 weeks.
That's insane.
Crazy.
Movies are mad.
It is a good fight though. I'm glad they went all out with it.
But just what do they do? Do they come every single day and they just spend 6 hours just refilming fight sequences?
They must say to the actors beforehand, it'll take a minimum of 6 months to a maximum of 3 years or something like that, because it's such a massive span. You don't know how much of your life's going to be taken up by a film when you start it.
And do they? If they're using a random bathroom, do they have to just come back to it every single day? If they use a big bathroom in a big building, because that's what it looks like. And they've just requisitioned it so they can shoot on site. Yeah,
I don't know. Unless they build their own bathroom off on a set, but I don't think they do that much anymore. They used to do that a lot for
just crazy
films. Yeah.
There's 3. I mean, there's those French guys that come and go. There's only really 3 characters in that fight scene.
Yeah.
4 weeks to film that. That's mad. But that's movies, isn't it?
I know.
I can believe that.
I'll believe it as well. Yeah. Do you want to read this Cavill one?
Henry Cavill improvised the arm gun reload movement in the bathroom fight. I don't know. Oh,
arm gun reload.
So I think there's a part in the trailer where he pops his the end of his sleeves, he goes like that.
Oh yeah.
Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Oh yeah, the angle. I guess it's
But he's not got guns in his arms.
No, but
like that.
I think they're saying it. Yeah. I think he's saying his arms are guns. Arm gun reload. I think that's what he said. I think it's just written.
I hope Henry Cavill calls his arms the arm guns.
Yeah, the arm gun reload. Let's get his guns out.
Yeah. I can buy that, but also it's not that impressive because it's just a thing that he does.
Yeah.
It's not interesting.
It's not a big deal, is it? It's I booked out for another film and I'm all big.
Do you want me to read this big long one? Cause you read
go
on. In August 2017, this is more stuff about...
stone jumping.
He was able to grab onto the other building thanks to a harness. Actually, it does just look like he used his upper body strength to grab onto the other building.
Yeah,
on that video we just saw.
Yeah, but then it did show a harness, a string on his back when it showed him from the front.
Yeah,
it showed a string on his back.
It wasn't pulling him up, was it?
No, I don't think it was pulling him up.
I think he pulled it. I think he did it all himself, but the harness was just there to stop him from dying.
Should we leave that one then?
Let's see if it says anything interesting. Cruise then got up and attempted to run it off, which was what the scene called for before he and the crew decided to stop filming. Shooting was delayed for nearly 8 weeks following the injury, but the footage of the stunt was used in the film and his trailers. Just so happened to be the actual injury.
Well, that's probably true then, because we already know he broke his ankle. I think I remember in the film you even saying like...
He's limping, isn't he?
Yeah, because we were like already taking a piss out of how silly he was being,
and how old he is.
And how old he was being, and he's like, he jumps across the thing, he's like, oh, now he's limping.
Because he broke his ankle.
He broke his ankle, yeah.
Jesus. At that age as well, ankle injuries take a long time to heal. 8 weeks is ridiculous.
Well, ankles, I guess, are a funny thing, and it's not like a clean leg break or anything, it's a lot of funny bones.
Yeah, there's little bits of...
He's
a mad guy, though.
Mad guy. The production wrapped after 161 shooting days.
That doesn't seem to fit with all the other things we've read.
Didn't it just say like 4 weeks for one fight scene?
Yeah. And there's a lot of fight scenes in this movie.
But I guess that's half a year. Is that long, you know?
But why would anyone lie about that?
I don't know.
People lie on the internet all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's just such an arbitrary number that we don't even know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
There's no point.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes, because there are no consequences to being wrong.
I'll say no then. Because it's not being right.
Halo skydiving sequence.
Yeah. So last sequence filmed during production, but was the first designed and required a full year of planning out. The crew had only a limited time window of 3 minutes a day during sunset to film a jump. Because of strict air aviation regulations in France, it could only be shot in the Emirates. It took Tom Cruise, Henry Cavill, and skydiving camera operator Craig O'Brien, who was instructed to keep a distance of 3 feet from Cruise while filming. And others involved a total of 106 jumps to get 3 possible takes. You're joking? 106 jumps for 3 takes. That's what we were saying a minute ago.
And a year of trying.
Yeah. I think 161 days has to be bullshit after all this.
Yeah.
You know,
and also, if it took 106 jumps to make this, how many jumps would it have taken with trained professionals?
Yeah.
Like 10.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, this
should have just done it with real people.
This is Tom Cruise jumping the shark on doing things himself.
I bet he funded the 106 jumps as well with his own money, because he was just like, I'm doing this jump, and they're like, Tom, we can't afford it. I'll pay for it. Let me do this jump. He's like, Tom, they'll have to pay the actors for another 106 days. I'll cover it. I'll pay all their fees for 106 days.
This movie's just it's lucky that it's able to make money back off the crazy stuff that Tom.
I can't believe it anyway.
What else is it saying?
However, to rehearse the sequence, the crew built a custom oxygen helmet with RAF assistance that can be lit up to see her face. I did notice that because...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because they had like little lights on the side of the face. First film I saw that in was Star Trek, one of the new Star Trek films. That has like lights on their face.
Yeah, they do a Halo jumpy thing.
Yeah, they jump from like one spacecraft to another spacecraft. Yeah. So they're like dodging loads of bits of shit. Yeah. And they can like see things on the screen of the mask, cool. And then like bits of like shrapnel to crack it and fuck it up so they can't. Yeah. Because it's like a targeted jump, so they target it to a specific location and they can follow the exact line it's telling them to follow. And as soon as the bit of shit shatters the glass on the mask, they then are just free falling and have to try and work it out themselves.
Because it's Khan and Kirk, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. Okay. What are we up to?
The practice doesn't end there, I think. Oh no. Right. The crew built a custom oxygen helmet with RF assistance that can do lit up to the face. Also built one of the world's largest wind tunnels.
For practice. They built their own wind tunnel for practice.
Crews and the other persons, which is a weird way of saying it, involved did 5 skydives a day, with 1 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon and 1 at dusk. Some of the other cast members turned up to visit, with Simon Pegg saying that he and his co-stars thought multiple times that Cruise was seriously about to die. It is a daily stress going to work with him, because you don't know if you are going to see him tomorrow. I think that is definitely true.
Yeah, that's what Simon Pegg would say.
Yeah, and that sounds like something anyone that works with Tom Cruise would say.
I don't like him, he's too mad. Can I go home now, please?
So this next one's interesting.
So Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames are the only actors to appear in all 6 Mission Impossible films.
Is Ving Rhames in 4 and 5? When's he in them?
I know he's in like 3. In 3's at the end. We know that already, don't we? Yeah. With the wife. I remember clocking. I wrote down when I was doing my notes every single time on that, being like, "Oh, Ving Rhames finally showed up," and I know he does. I could check my notes, but I know he shows up in all 6.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think he was in 4 and 5. I thought he was just back again in 6.
Well, it's again like backseat roles. Like he'll ask him to do one little thing for him. He's like, "Can you hack this for me?" And he'll just call him up on the phone, and then he'll just do something, and then he'll go again. Like he literally would have like 10 minutes in some of the films, so it's easy to forget him. But they made sure he was in. And he got a credit in each one.
And in the new one, he's part of the team again. Like he's the main guy. He's one of the main
One of
guys,
the
him
main
and
guys.
Simon Pegg. Even though him and Simon Pegg do the same job.
Yeah, and they swapped them out at one point. And
Yeah.
then they both back together for the last one.
But now, even though it seems like Jeremy Renner is probably the most useful person they've had
Yeah.
around, he's gone now.
Yeah.
He's gone off to do some Jason Bourne. Pretty
Yeah, Renner wasn't in it, that's just too bad. He's probably the only one who didn't carry over
Yeah.
from the 4th to the 5th. Sorry, the 5th to the 6th.
He's good though. I like him.
Yeah, I like him too.
What?
Simon Pegg has been in every movie since Mission Impossible 3, that's true, because that's the Abrams one.
Right.
And Abrams brought him in as an analyst, and then 4 and 5 he
Because they're
came
mates,
full.
aren't they?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise said in an interview that if Mission Impossible Fallout does well, they'll make more. For now, he'll still create them, but directors, that's nonsense. It's cool.
What? So then, if you let Mission Impossible Fallout does well, they'll make more.
What a
No.
shock!
Yeah.
Hey Tom, if your movie makes money, you're gonna make more movies. Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
If it doesn't make any money, I probably won't.
Quick, someone write that on IMDb.
Shit, isn't it?
Henry Cavill was offered the role publicly through his Instagram by the director.
We're in a modern age, aren't we?
I think that's a dick move because you can't say no, can you? Because
Why,
people will
that's
hate you.
Yeah, it's like, come in the new Mission Impossible film, and everyone's in the comments like, yeah, do
Do
it.
it. And he's like, well, you know, I've always hated facial hair, but I'll come if you really want me to.
Well, they did that with Spider-Man. They wanted Donald Glover to be Spider-Man for
Yeah.
ages, and then he was in the new Spider-Man film as like a cameo.
Yeah.
Like he had a little role in it, but they spent ages saying that Donald Glover wanted to be Spider-Man. Then when he wasn't Spider-Man, everyone freaked out about it as though it was something that
Yeah.
they felt was a given because they just talked about it so
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Reminds me of the whole like No Man's Sky thing where they were just like everyone. No Man's Sky didn't say it was going to be anything special, and everyone started making up shit that was going to be in the game, and the guy's like, no, that's not going to be in there. But everyone just got away with itself, and when it came out,
That's
they're
true.
like, it's just a game where you mine planets. Where's all the cool shit we asked for? It's like
Because
it's a Kickstarter. You can just have it.
That also happened. That's happening at the moment with Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Although he's
Oh, the
fueling
James
it
Bond.
himself.
Yeah, he wants to.
I
be
think
James
he'd
Bond.
be a great James Bond, although he
think
is
so,
quite
too.
old.
Yeah, he is, but
So he might only get one out of him, but I think he'd be really good.
yeah.
But he tweeted the other day something like, "You can call me Elba, Idris Elba."
Yeah,
or something.
that's something like that. Yeah.
So I reckon he'd be good.
It would be good. I'd enjoy that.
He'd also be a good bad guy in the next Mission Impossible.
Yeah, he, would be. He was a bad guy in the third Star Trek film, but
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
he had stuff on his face.
he had something in his face and it ruined it. Like, and he had like a voice the whole. He was putting on like a weird voice the whole
Yeah.
time, and I'm like, everyone likes Idris Elba's like trying to be American but still Cockney voice. Everyone loves that.
And then doesn't he use like a special thing to make him young again? And he goes back to being Idris Elba.
Yeah, like right at the end for a second, I might finally at least get to see Idris Elba for a minute, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he-
like that movie. You know,
Hmm.
I think it's really.
I thought it was alright. Yeah, I couldn't like. I knew Idris Elba was in it, and it took me a while to figure out that he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
I wasn't really. I didn't really look up who was going to be in the film, and then yeah, oh shit on his face, didn't he? So I was like, who is he? Who's this guy?
Anyway, yeah, I think that's probably true. We could easily check, but we're not going to bother.
No,
Because there's no stakes to this.
it's the lowest of stakes games.
But I do think that's a dick move. Don't do that because you put more pressure on people. And if Henry Cavill can't do it for some reason, like maybe he just doesn't want to do it,
Yeah.
people will abuse him on the internet. That's not fair.
it's not
Don't
fair.
do things like that.
Poor guy.
It's not cool.
Poor famous, big, muscular,
Yeah.
full of money.
That's true.
Probably has 60 girlfriends. Henry Cavill.
What's he going to explain to all 60 of his girlfriends that he's going off and filming Mission Impossible?
And like 59 of them asked him why he had a CGI mustache, and then
Yeah.
and one of them had no idea because she was fooled by the amazing CGI.
Go
Should
on.
we read this big one, or should we skip it?
Yeah, it's a Simon Pegg one.
The Simon Pegg one, right? Simon Pegg got in such good shape. That's false already. He's never been in good shape. Sorry.
He's pretty ripped in this movie.
Is he?
You don't notice he's
No.
quite ripped. Like he's wearing quite tight shirts all the time. He
Oh,
never
is he?
takes his top off, but he looks quite muscly compared to normal Simon.
Probably compared to what he normally would be.
The Simon
yeah.
Pegg in this movie would have murdered all those old people in Hot Fuzz really quickly. He's absolutely ripped.
Yeah. And when Hot Fuzz, he should technically be ripped based on
Yeah,
his
that's
character.
true,
He can
yeah.
like do the 100-meter dash faster than everybody.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
the best officer on the force, but then he's just Simon Pegg.
But it's also implied that the Force is all like really silly and no one's very good at anything. So he's just like a normal man and he's still fitter than everybody
He's
else.
better than everybody else.
Because the other police officer who we see all the time is what's his
Nick
name?
Frost, yeah.
Nick Frost, who's clearly not in shape to be a policeman. Anyway,
Yeah, let's go on to this. Got in such good shape while training in the gym for his action scenes that he got 8-pack abs. Now that might be where I'd call it. That might be where I call bullshit. 8-pack
I'm
abs.
sticking with this.
For the first time in 25 years. When did he have 8-pack abs
How
before?
old is he?
I don't know. When he was in... It must be in his 50s now, but when he was in Spaced, which is the first thing I've seen him in,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he was over 25 in Spaced and he'd already like put on loads of weight. It was probably like 27, 28 or something maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 30. So he might put some weight on before Spaced and we never saw anything with him in where he had an 8-pack.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just word of mouth, isn't it? If he was never in anything and he just says like, yeah, I had an 8-pack when I was 25.
No, I used to
like,
have an 8-pack.
Yeah, it's like you could just bullshit us, Simon.
He's 48 now.
He's 48
so
now.
he would have been 23.
23.
Right. I mean, it's possible.
It's possible he had an 8-pack.
An 8-pack is ridiculous.
But why would he have had an 8-pack before? Like, what was he doing? How did he get an 8-pack?
Maybe he just like to keep fit.
Well, then why did he just not want to keep fit then for 25 years?
I'm buying into this.
You're buying
for the
into
first time in 25 years, even though it wasn't required for his role at all. The actor is not an action star, known for his body, and was teased on the set by co-stars Tom Cruise and Henry Cavill, who were clearly body shaming him.
Yeah, exactly. They're actually action stars, is it?
Actually action stars, and regularly show their 8-pack abs in films. Tom Cruise has a weird body.
Does he have an 8-pack?
Not really, and he's really old. He's clearly ripped.
Yeah, when they
he's
get
got
older,
that like grizzled old body of a man whose
Yeah,
body doesn't want to be muscly anymore.
no, that's like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler. Like he's
Yeah,
obviously
that's
strong,
right, that's
but,
exactly
but
it.
his muscles are kind of falling. The gravity's winning. Like there's nothing you can do
Like Hulk
against.
Hogan now.
Yeah, just like saggy ham person.
Yeah, it's like a big hot dog.
Yeah.
They nicknamed him Peg. They nicknamed Peg 8-Pack Peggles. Due to his newfound arms, Tom Cruise said 6-pack Peggles. I call him. He had an amazing 8-pack going on. He's almost like 8-pack Peggles. Peg responded to this good-natured teasing, saying, "To be fair, it was a 6-pack. It wasn't quite an 8-pack. I think one morning after training, my abs made an appearance for the first time since I was 23. You have to be in shape to do these movies, and I put my mind to it. It's nice to know that I can still show off. I can still show out if I need to." I think it probably means off.
Yeah.
My wife appreciates it. That's firstly too much information, Simon.
And I think I know what's happened here anyway. I think because he's saying it's the first time he's seen his abs. His appearance has made an appearance as he was 23, so his abs have only just started to come in, and he may have just had about a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And then
He's not got an 8.
But Tom Cruise said 6-pack Peggles first, and then was like, I call him 8-pack. He called him 8-pack as a joke.
Yeah.
He like may have just about had a 6-pack, and they were like, "Wait, we've got 8-packs in 11," and then they started calling him 8-pack. That's what it sounds like.
This seems like classic, the kind of humour someone like Tom Cruise would find really funny, when actually it's probably just being a dick to
Yeah, it's just like, I'm more muscular than you, I'm Tom Cruise.
Look at you trying to have muscles where you can't.
It's like, shut up, not James Bond.
Yeah,
Funded a
exactly.
series of movies to be James Bond.
And Henry Cavill just laughing in the background as he just stands there with his fucking massive, like 12-pack or whatever.
Yeah, he's just like, shut up, I'm 6'9" or something, and you guys are 5'1".
Little tiny piece. At 7 hours 27 minutes is the longest Mission Impossible film.
Oh,
today.
2 hours, 27 minutes.
7 hours.
It was like 7 hours. It felt like it. After all those shots they shot.
I actually think it is really long, but it doesn't feel long, does it?
No.
Because it's so fast paced.
I thought, because the other films, I was clocking the times a bit, and most of them were about 2 hours, 6 minutes. Like, they seem to keep it quite consistent of just over 2 hours.
Yeah.
So this had an extra half an hour in it, and I didn't feel it. I felt less. The other films dragged more.
I think so,
Definitely.
yeah. I think this is one of the best paced of the lot
Yeah.
of them. Like, even one does drag sometimes because it's this quite slow and
Yeah.
plodding at times, whereas
Yeah.
this is just action all the time, even sometimes to its detriment.
Yeah. Well, I think like the 4 or 5 great bits that we mentioned earlier, that we were talking about, the funny bits and the great bits, are all like quite evenly spread, and all the way up until the very end of the film. And your favourite bit is the very end of the film, which means that that's going to breeze right past.
And that kind of half hour where everything's going on, when they're trying to find the bombs and he's trying to, that's all great, and it all happens really fast.
Yeah.
Sorry, it all happens over like half hour, but it feels really fast. You want to pay attention the whole time.
Yeah, no, it keeps your attention.
The film was greenlit several days before the release of Mission Impossible Rogue Nation.
Really? I thought we would have waited to see how it did first.
I mean, if you've just said yes, you could change your mind, can't you?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
But everyone, and they probably knew, I'm guessing they know pretty much before a movie comes out whether it's going to make money or not.
Yeah. And I guess it makes sense that they greenlit it, because the new film follows on so much from Rogue Nation. It relies on Rogue Nation's story to work.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
they must have been like, we want to make this a double this thing, yeah.
And is this the shortest distance between two of them?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, because 2015, 2018. I think it's all 4 years before that, 4 to 5 years, usually. Maybe one of them's 6 gap, but it was 96, 2000, then like 2000, maybe 2000, maybe it was even 2006, maybe that was the biggest gap actually, 2000 to 2006.
And then 6 to like 10.
Yeah, then 10 to
15.
Yes, so this is 3, so it's the shortest, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
How much have we got left of these?
Don't know, probably loads. We'll just
We'll fly through these a bit quicker now.
Right. During the helicopter chase scene, the computer voice warning Ethan about terrain. Oh yeah, terrain, pull up. Doesn't it keep reminding him over like, pull up, and it's like, they're not gonna pull up.
Like, I'll figure it out.
He talks to the computer, I'll figure it out. Like, terrain. The exact same voice. Giving the same warning and instruction to the pilot in the opening plane scene for Mission Impossible 2.
Who knew? You would never guess that.
Who cares even? Just the same voice, wow.
The first director in the franchise to direct more than one film.
He was,
he's really good as well. And he's mates with Tom Cruise, he's done a lot of good stuff. This is the first time the F word was used in a Mission Impossible movie.
When did he say fuck?
Fucking hell, that's a surprise.
He called him a prick, he didn't say fuck at one point. We've got to mention that.
That's really good. Yeah. That's when, after he's pulled up out of, he's figured out what all the buttons do.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill shoots at him with the machine gun, and they kind of as Tom Cruise is getting away, the helicopters come like level, and Henry Cavill's like, "Why won't you die?" And he's shooting at him with the machine gun, and Tom Cruise is just like, "Prick."
Because he's like, he can't figure out how to jump across the helicopter. He has no idea. He looks across and he's just like, "Prick." Really aggressive. Like, what?
It's really funny.
Yeah, I think that's what they reference in there. Because it's not. I don't think it's the F word. I'm pretty sure it's a prick. But is that just because we're English? Does he say prick in America?
Maybe in America he says like douche or something like that.
Douchebag.
Rebecca Ferguson, first actress in the franchise to appear twice in a leading role. Yeah.
Jeremy Renner was in 2 films.
Yeah, but he's not an actress, is he?
Oh, actress. Okay, that makes sense. In a leading role, yeah.
Jeremy Renner's not in this movie because he's too busy not being in all the other Marvel movies.
Yeah, I don't know. So yeah,
he's not in.
He wasn't in Infinity War. Was he in Infinity War?
No,
at all?
No, he's not in it.
So what's he even doing? So he's told Mission Impossible that he can't do the film because of Marvel, and Marvel has been like, sorry, I'm doing Mission Impossible. He's just got off living in the cabin somewhere.
So they can't turn into dust in Infinity.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that. Did you see the not Infinity War? What was the one that came before the Avengers film? Civil War.
Civil War.
Yeah, he's out in a cabin somewhere living with his wife, isn't he? He's like, I'm out the job now. That's what he's doing with his acting career. He's just like, well, I'm working on this film. Can't work on that. No, I'm working on this film. But he's just like, out in the woods somewhere hunting deer with a bow and arrow because he learned how to do it for a film.
Yeah. He's revealed that being Superman did preparing for the extreme stunts in this film. It's so funny that like you could be like an actual like. You could be a guy who climbs mountains for a living, and then doing a film with Tom Cruise will still be the maddest thing you've ever done. Cavill noted that his training for Superman is geared more towards body sculpting for shirtless scenes. Well, yeah, there's not going to be a lot of scenes where they ask him to fly, are there?
No, actually fly.
Yeah. While stunts require more functional training, he added, it's a very different kind of preparation. This is boring, isn't it?
Yeah, rubbish.
Let's move on from that one.
Sorry, this one?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Post-production on the film was completed on July 3rd, 2018, less than 3 weeks before its premiere.
That ties into this idea that it took ages and ages.
Yeah, yeah, it does. Should we skip the big one?
Curiously absent, appears to be flying a helicopter at ground level directly towards a tractor trailer. The shot itself is odd considering the entire final cut of the helicopter sequence takes place in a remote. Yeah, that is weird. Maybe they must have cut quite a big part of it. I keep talking as though people can see what we're reading, but they can't.
No,
so
you need to read them out. Yeah. So I read this next one then.
Go on.
So Henry Cavill replaced Tom Cruise for the Man from U.N.C.L.E. Is that a different film?
Yeah, 2015.
So he replaced Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of it. It's quite.
I guess Rogue Nation was out that year, so that's probably why he replaced.
Maybe Tom Cruise broke another ankle or something.
Maybe It should be called the Man from Ankle.
See, this says filming lasted in almost an entire year. Was production halted for a few months due to Tom Cruise's broken ankle.
Oh, okay.
None of these timelines fit.
No, almost an entire year. I did one said 161 days. That's not the same.
Even if it was just 161 days shooting, broken up with a space in the middle of it.
Yeah.
A few months doesn't fit into that. No, it doesn't. No.
I feel like all of these are about like action as well. It's just about how many shots they took of an action shot and ankle breaks and how much damage is done to people. They're all quite one note, these career.
Do you want to jump? We'll jump down to the bottom because some of the fun. Look at that. Go on the spoilers ones. They're always fun.
Oh, okay. Right. Should we do a spoiler alert?
Well, we literally read the story out at the start.
Yeah, I know we did. Yeah. I thought we could use that computer voice that was in the start of Mission Impossible 2 and the helicopter's voice from this film to tell them that it's a spoiler alert. Terrain. Spoiler alert.
That you said this. In Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Simon Pegg's character says, Everyone gets to wear a mask but Benji, because he's called Benji.
He's called Benji, that's it.
In this film, not only does he wear 2 different masks, but he's the only character who uses a mask.
I said that, yeah. I feel like all this trivia I've just got guessed or gleaned from watching the film. That's what.
It's just like things people put together.
Yeah, figured out it's not actual behind the scenes.
Second instalment in which the IMF secretary is murdered in Ethan Hunt's presence.
Oh right. Oh yeah, because it happens in 4 when that's when he first meets Renner, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's meant to be an analyst or something, and then the secretary who's brought Renner in gets shot in the car, and they both get out.
Yeah, and it turns out he's not an analyst.
Exactly, and that's why they need Alec Baldwin to take his place in the 5th film, because there's no IMF secretary because he's been
IMF, which of course stands for Impossible
Mission Force. Oh, I kind of really want to mention that Anthony Hopkins moment from Mission Impossible 2, where it's like, well, Mr. Hunt, this isn't mission difficult. This is mission impossible. Looks at camera, breaks fourth wall, and ruins the entire film from the start. That set the tone for the entire film there.
That's fun. They should do that in all of them.
To say the word Mission Impossible. Didn't they say the film? 'Cause we were waiting for him to say the name of the film. What's the name? Fallout. And then someone said Fallout at some point. I looked at it, I was like, there it is.
It's like, imagine the fallout.
Really slow Fallout, like the lines, the title with his hand.
If they'd said this mission is impossible, if we get it wrong, imagine the fallout.
Imagine the colon Fallout.
But again, and we talked about this the other day, nothing will ever get better than the trailer for Suicide Squad, where Will Smith says, they're all gathered together, and Will Smith says, what is this? Some kind of suicide squad?
Yes! You fucking numpty, you know what you signed up for.
I don't even know if that's in the movie or not, I just remember it from the trailer.
That's funny.
Have we got much else? Ethan Hunt? No, that's boring.
It's that second film in the series to open with an interrogation scene in what is then revealed to be a set after Mission Impossible.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, at the very start when it's just introducing the characters, it's like almost a nothing scene. It's just to introduce that they're this team that do this fake shit, the IMF are this weird team that pretend something's happening to get someone to answer some questions.
Yeah.
Just before they start the main mission. I forgot that even happened.
This next one looks like something we've talked about a lot, right? There are several callbacks to each of the... Because this feels like a callback to all the old.
Yeah, we picked out loads of stuff, don't we? That was similar to the other films.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most notably, Mission Impossible 1, the White Widow is the daughter of Max, which we've already talked about. The arms dealer dealt with to discover Job's identity. The opening interrogation scene, again, is similar. Mission Impossible 2, Ethan puts his rock climbing skills from the second film to good use, because that's his main thing. He's a rock climber. So now, in Mission Impossible 3, Julia, who's the wife, who we didn't know the name of, returning as a supporting character, directly links Fallout with the events of the third film.
Yeah. Well, it's just a repeat of the third film. It's like we've got your wife again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cause she's like, this is like Mission Impossible 3. Similar what happened in that film.
Well, when your husband and it's cold. It's mad.
In Ghost Protocol, Benji, which is Simon Pegg, consistent annoyance at not being able to wear a mask. We've already talked about that.
I guess it's not buying not one but two of them, yeah.
And then also, that part where Tom Cruise is hoping that they've never met so that he can go into the room without a mask on, because the mask machine breaks. He's just stealing stuff. In Rogue Nation, the overall plot and the reappearance of Alan Hunley, Solomon Lane, and Isla Forced directly link Fallout to the previous one. And I think Isla Forced might be the name of
the woman who was apparently 7 months pregnant.
But I don't know who Alan Hunley is. Oh, is he the CIA director?
Maybe,
Is he Alec Baldwin?
He might be Alec Baldwin,
I think he is. And then Solomon Lane is the name of the evil bad guy.
Well, that's why this would be like a perfect finish then. It's just like it's proven that some of the points in all the other films can work as a film, but they're all shoved together and made really silly. I don't know. It's like, is it just taking the piss out of the other films then?
I think he loves those films and he wants people to go back and watch them.
Yeah, probably.
I think we should call it a day there.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think we've read all the...
Add a new trivia item.
Oh yeah.
Tom Cruise is gay. Isn't it really shit? I have to stop. I'm not doing that.
It's not worth it.
No.
Right. Good work.
Cool.
Can we whack a thing together?
Yeah. Shall I find something to slap together?
Yeah.
What have I got? I've got a candlestick.
It's more like a gavel.
And another candle.
Yeah.
Cut.